trying.
Just send me the link when you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it now, bro.
Post it on my story.
The Happy Days. Is it on air? Yeah. Get it then.
Oh, that's nice.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd like that one.
No, I didn't. It's weird, that, isn't it? Beer being nice.
Who'd have thought it? Live. Sick. Right, I'll send you the link.
Right, guy.
It's weird. There'll be no one watching right now, but if someone did tune in, they'd be like, "What the fuck are these lot doing?"
Sat around
What are
sending
these lot
links
doing?
to each other.
I thought this is the football podcast.
On Messenger.
What's going
Right, I
on?
will do.
What's going on here? They all just sat around sending links to each other.
Oh, yeah, send me the link, bro. Yeah, man, safe.
These are red mics there.
They are.
Alright, so how are you doing?
So if you're on there, oh wait, I fucked that one up.
There's like a button you can add in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So where are you? If you got yeah. And then you just copy the link and put whatever text you want. You see. The Instagram's nearly got 200 followers now, so
That's good.
that's pretty impressive.
Do you get a lot of interaction on, is it TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok and stuff does bits. TikTok and Instagram just do proper numbers for us.
That's good.
Well, that's what you want, really, isn't it? All right, I think we're. Oh, I need to send you it as well.
I like you doing it, John. This.
Huh?
I like you on my story.
At the Derby Days thing on Insta. Can't believe you don't even follow it, Faiz.
I thought I followed them on Overboard. I assumed it was that fast.
No, different things. Right then, boys. I think we're good to go.
Good to go. Let's do it.
Big game today. Arsenal against Tottenham. We got 2 Arsenal fans. Tottenham fans don't exist apparently, or at least up north they don't. So we couldn't find any.
They're all hiding.
Yeah, exactly that. But I wanted to ask to kick things off. This wasn't in the notes, but I thought it'd be a good question, right? Is there any Tottenham fans? Are there any Tottenham players who you think would get in the Arsenal starting team?
Yeah.
Who?
Son. I think Son would push Martinelli out, I think. But I think he's probably the only player that I would pick. Saw Bent's combined 11 the other day, and he pretty much he picked all of the Arsenal team. And the guy that was interviewing him was pushing him to say, "Come on, you have to pick one." And he picked Martinelli, and I'd probably go with he picked Son over Martinelli, and I would probably do that.
What about maybe Maddison?
For who you dropping Odegaard?
That's the problem, isn't it? But
Bodyguard.
I mean, based off his form this season, he's been one of the best attacking mids in the Prem.
Yeah, but consistently over the last 2 seasons, Odegaard's been great, and he didn't get relegated.
So out of the whole,
I'm taking Romero as well at
Yeah.
centre back.
yeah,
Over Gabriel.
Yeah,
Over Gabriel?
yeah.
He's not left-footed, is he? That's the best selling point with Gabriel, that he's left-footed. He provides that angle for the fullback.
Gabriel gets goals as well.
Yeah.
He also gets a lot of yellows. I don't know with Gabriel. I've never really been.
He gets too much hate, I think.
He gets
man.
put
I don't know
in.
why.
He gets put in over Saliba for me at the moment. I think.
Gabriel over Saliba.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think Saliba's that rock, man.
Yeah, but I think he's been more vital for us as Gabriel.
If he was that guy, you wouldn't have signed Timber.
Timber was as a
Timber's
right
playing
back.
as a left back though, isn't he, for us?
Right back, right. Right back, left back.
He was only left back because Zinchenko was injured start of the season, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
I only thought he was going to replace like Ben White as right back to provide that.
I think
He
Ben
can
White's
play both.
better than Gabriel as a centre back.
No, he's
I
not.
do.
I mean, I have a soft spot for Ben White just because of his time at Leeds, but I really like him as a footballer.
I do like Ben White, but I don't think he's better than Gabriel as centre back. You've seen it when he plays. Gabriel always puts in a better shift.
I've seen Gabriel come into himself, and I think he's been quality for us.
I think so too, man. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Zinchenko's back in the lineup as well now. Is he playing today?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on the starting 11. Yeah. I like Zinchenko, but he's got a mistake in him recently.
Is it?
Yeah, he gives the ball away a fair bit, but he's good.
Was it the Liverpool game last season? What game was it last season?
Yeah,
Liverpool
he
game,
passed it straight.
When he got megged on the right wing,
Yeah, when he
and
just had it,
conceded, and then he
had
started
a
crying on the
clanger.
bench.
Yeah. He was
He was
giving the ball
gassing up
away.
the team before as well. And like 2 minutes later, he got absolutely skinned.
Yeah, it
No,
happens
I
to-
like Zinchenko. The only thing I have about him, he thinks he's too much of like a captain sometimes. I remember last season when he did like a mini team talk, and then Odegaard was like, "Oh, bro, like chill out." Like he does not have it. He has that in him sometimes, but with the setup that we have, with the kind of centre mids that we have, we got like Vieira starting on the left centre mid. We normally have Havertz. They push up a lot, so we have Zinchenko playing on the left full back role, and he like shifts into the centre mid. He provides that added balance in the mid.
Yeah, I think
to allow these players to press
They
up.
ask a lot of Zinchenko, I think. It's a fairly new position to play in, is that?
Yeah,
Shifting from left into centre.
That's a question
right,
for
He
you.
was doing it at City, to be fair.
Was it?
Yeah, he did it at City.
Who would you rather have, Havertz or Madison? Because I know Havertz doesn't start every game at the minute, but
That is a shocking question, bro.
no, but I feel like Arsenal fans might.
but at the different positions though,
Yeah.
like I can't see Madison playing on that left centre mid role.
Really know why we signed Havertz. Like, I've nothing against the guy, and I think he's a good footballer. I think he's solid. I don't really fully know what his position is. I don't think he does either, and I'm not quite sure why we signed him when we had Emil Smith Rowe and we had Trossard that could fit into that slot as well. It just seemed like what we did was sort of stifle the progression in the team. At the expense of somebody really willing and eager like Emil Smith Rowe and Trossard, who's actually quality on the ball. I just don't know why we signed him, me.
I think a lot of it to do was with Arteta and his style of players that he likes to buy. He buys players mostly off profile rather than actual how they play, and he feels like he could mold them into a player that he likes. Because
Yeah.
Havertz is a 6'2", strong,
Yeah,
good in
he's
the air
massive.
player that can play in the hybrid, multiple positions at once. So I think Arteta, the kind of players that he wants, is that kind of player.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one with Havertz because sometimes I watch him and I think, oh, he's clearly got something about him and he could kick on and do really well. But how long are we going to keep saying that before it's like?
I don't know what his position is, mate.
Yeah, same.
Well, we're a minute or two away from kickoff now, so I wanted a score prediction from everyone. Chris, we'll start with you, one of the Arsenal fans at the table, against Tottenham in the North London derby. What do you think the score is going to be?
I think with 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 to Arsenal?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Say 2-0, Arsenal.
Damn. Josh?
I think 2-2. Tottenham look good this year, I think.
Yeah, 2-0 is not a bad shout. I think I'm going to go 3-2 to Arsenal. And I've said this a few times. I have a feeling if Arsenal do manage to pick up the win in this game, I think it could be one of those results that really changes the outlook of Tottenham's season for some reason. I think if they lose today after the run they've been on in what is their biggest game of the season effectively, it could have a massive impact on what they do after this. So I think it'll really knock the confidence in the role that they've got going at the
I
minute.
think they're going to get the confidence knocked. I think they'll come out attacking
He's read
us.
Tottenham.
Here's one
Cool.
for clips. I think they'll come out attacking us and we'll deal with it.
Well, I mean, I'm backing Arsenal anyway. To be honest, I've always it's like effectively having 3 Arsenal fans, but not quite, of course. But yeah, Tottenham. What do you think of Ange?
I like Ange.
I fucking love him, man.
I like him.
I was saying this last night, yeah. I think he's the most likeable manager in world football.
Yeah, which is exactly why I hate him.
Is it?
It's because Spurs have him.
Do you like him? But you also
Yeah,
really
he's quality, and he's such a lovely bloke, isn't he? He's obviously very in tune with like what the players want, what the fans want. I think they've got themselves an absolute diamond in him, mate.
I agree. I think just the way that he interacts with fans. I seen a clip online the other day where it was like a Q&A that was coming to an end.
seen that, yeah.
And there was a disabled fan and he made sure that he managed to ask the question,
Yeah, it's
which is just
class.
such a nice thing to
And it's
do.
not him posturing either, is it? It's not him being like, "Oh, I'm going to do this for the cameras." It's hit. That's genuinely him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they've got a really, really good
Did
person
you see
to
that
galvanise the
team
team.
talk that he did for the Australian team? I think he was a coach for the Australian national
was,
team,
yeah.
wasn't he? He did a team talk before the game, and it was really, really good. Just basically saying, go out there and play for your family. Don't play for yourselves. Play for the people that put you there. At one point in your life, somebody backed you more than everyone else did. It was a nice little Nice little clip, to be fair.
Yeah, I really do like him. And I'm not a Tottenham fan in any way, shape or form, but I think they've done a good job of getting someone that might turn people a little bit warmer to him, especially like international fans and stuff.
They've had to do that. They've had. They have Conte and Mourinho.
Yeah.
Like, they've gone the total opposite way and picked somebody that's more of a people person.
Yeah.
And that's what the fans were crying out for, I think.
Oh.
Well, obviously they were crying out for better football as well.
I think they had that a bit with Pochettino. I think when Pochettino was in charge, there was a whole vibe with Tottenham that they created.
Yeah.
And then once they got rid of him, it kind of went downhill again.
Well, that was the last time they were really like good.
Yeah, Champions League final, right?
They had
So
great players then.
The fact that Tottenham even made it to the Champions League final still baffles me.
speaks volumes on Pochettino, man.
It does. Although his job at Chelsea so far is not.
I think he's one of the most overrated managers.
Really?
I'm in agreement with you.
I don't see it personally.
He had a really good team at Spurs.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
He didn't do anything.
They should have. I mean, PSG should be winning that league every year, should they not?
True.
I agree on the PSG point, but I do think at Tottenham he did also help curate that team.
Oh, that's going on.
Battle in here.
Minute into the game and it's getting tasty already.
Yeah, man.
Is this the biggest derby in the Premier League, do you think?
No.
Is it not? Is it Man United Liverpool?
Yes.
I would say that's probably a little bit bigger.
I wouldn't say that anymore, considering that United lost 7-0 against Liverpool last season.
It's still the biggest.
Is that a rivalry now? 7-0? Come on.
It's still the biggest derby, I think, in the Prem.
Yeah, I think the North.
Yeah, in terms of
derbies
history,
are a bit more vicious.
Just in terms of history, yeah.
I think people in the North take it a bit more serious.
Tottenham on the attack here, on the wing, into the Arsenal box for the first time. It's a Tottenham corner.
Ben White, solid.
Yeah, good block, good defending. This Johnson, you said it was someone from Notts Forest. They were at Forest last year. I've not really heard much about him. Was he good at Forest? Do you know, Josh?
He was all right. He's quick. He's a very quick player. I think he's quite young. It's an interesting signing. I wouldn't have signed him at United personally, but yeah, I don't know much about him. I just remember he was a good player. I remember when he played Forest, played United. He was a good player, but he didn't have much end product. There was a couple of situations where he could have had 2 or 3 that game, and he didn't quite convert. So
Tottenham with a goal here.
Offside.
Surely.
Come on.
Miles off.
Yeah.
Miles.
Off.
Didn't even question it.
Yeah.
Tasty start from Tottenham though. Oh yeah,
He's 3 offside.
yeah. Whole team's offside
yeah.
practically. Isn't it?
I don't know what keeper's playing him on.
Right, I've got a question for you then, boys. The start of a mini debate. Who is the biggest team in London?
Arsenal.
Straight up.
No doubt.
I think currently Arsenal.
Arsenal.
No,
bro.
but like I mean, I don't mean right
Historically.
now in terms of like how many fans are in the stadium. Historically,
All right,
Depends what metrics you want to go off, doesn't it?
no, let's go. Who would you say? Who's your argument?
well,
for against?
I was going to say I wouldn't say Tottenham are really in the argument, but I would say
they are.
Chelsea. Chelsea are definitely in with a shout here.
It's between Chelsea and Arsenal.
I'd say Chelsea only did well in the 21st century, man, since like Abramovich took over.
Now
Before
Chelsea
then-
had an era in the
Chelsea had a-
80s
yeah,
where they
but
won the league a couple of times.
Had
in the
one of
FA
the best
Cup.
Premier League runs in history, haven't they? And they've won was it 3 Champions League?
Yeah, they won 2 Champions Leagues and the Europa
Leagues.
League.
Yeah, I mean they're a solid club, but
They're
look at the state of them
most
now.
successful English club in the last 20 years, I'm sure.
Yeah,
They've
I
won the
think
most
they probably
trophies.
are.
I think Chelsea are the biggest team in London.
No
Nah,
doubt.
but
No
I
chance.
think
No chance.
the question's sort of like it's irrelevant, is it, your history slightly, because it's about where you are now and where you're going. If you look at the state of the 2 clubs, like Arsenal and Chelsea now, look what are Chelsea doing? They've pumped so much money in, right? And they're not getting anywhere with the resources that they've put into it. You look at Arsenal now and you think that is a team that's set up so much better to succeed in the future.
Yeah, I
So-
agree with that, but that doesn't mean that in the past 10 years, for example, Chelsea have still had more success winning the league a couple of times and winning the Champions
Yeah.
League. So, like, where do you draw that line? Of Arsenal have done better in the last 2 seasons, but I understand going back to the 80s and stuff isn't the best metric now, but the fact that they've won the European Cup and the league, and Arsenal haven't in the last decade.
That's the only thing they have over us, though. Going through our history, head to head, we've won more games.
We've
Head to
won-
head against Chelsea, Arsenal have won more wins.
We've won like 47 major trophies and they've got 35, so it depends how long you want to go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that
You can go back
worldwide,
as long as you want.
worldwide though, surely Arsenal obviously a massive club and have a lot of fans, but Chelsea would have done a great job of bringing in more fans as well.
Chelsea probably have more fans globally, yeah.
Yeah, that's
think?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
probably say, because over the last 10 years, 15 years with rise of social media and that sort of thing, then
But
They are. I think
foreign
the
fans are going
second,
to pick Chelsea. Aren't they?
second or third most followed team on Instagram in the world because of that, as you said.
Next
Like
to-
more,
next to
they got like
Madrid,
so many
maybe.
plastic
Madrid
fans
and
though. I
United.
think Chelsea.
You got-
They got many plastic fans.
Yeah,
Better Arsenal have,
every
like-
team does the like. I mean, I get called it for not living in London, but it's
fair.
just
but yeah, I think Chelsea are in with a real shout of.
I think Chelsea are.
No, I wouldn't say they are. I said they're the closest, but
I mean, the thing is, like,
it's tight.
in my lifetime, Chelsea have been by far and away better than Arsenal.
But in my
But on-
lifetime,
but under the
it
argument, then you
wasn't
could
Man United.
you could argue that City are a bigger team than United. But I wouldn't say so. I think United are still a bigger team, a bigger club historically wise.
Yeah, they are.
But someone who's like 14, 15 would be like, in my lifetime, City are a bigger team.
I was there for the Henry days and as
Yeah,
it
man.
out against United every year. Chelsea weren't getting a look in then. So
Yeah,
it's
but
all about how
since-
far you
since
want to
then,
go
they've-
back.
They've
Yeah,
won
I'm-
3 European
So,
trophies.
like I said, because it's all about how far you want to go back. If you look at where you are now, that's probably the better metric of looking at who's the bigger club. In
Yeah, but
London.
as you just said, if you said even where you are now, Chelsea probably still have more fans worldwide, then where do you want to, like, why are Arsenal, just because they've got a better squad at the minute?
I mean, they're probably very similar in terms of how many fans they've got worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it will be quite close, but
I'm saying bigger because we're better.
Yeah.
but that, I don't know. It's only been for a year or two. I don't think it's as straight up as just like
But
100% Arsenal.
Look at what Chelsea have and the infrastructure that they've got. They're not using it right. We are. They've thrown money at problems. Like Ted Bowley's thrown money at problems that he doesn't know how to solve with the money. We've thrown money at problems. Yeah, we've spent, but we've generally spent really well.
Do you not think that's because you've gone through that reset period that Chelsea are kind of going through now, though? Like, they've taken real big gambles. I think they're taking big gambles on younger players in order to, in a few years, be in a similar position to Arsenal. Because if 80% of those gambles come off well, they're going to have an unbelievable squad.
Yeah, we did it quite gradually though, didn't we? We put the money in places where we knew we needed to put it. I think they've just gone.
I think Chelsea was just Abramovich, you know. They lived and died through with Abramovich. As soon as Abramovich left, they went downhill, man. He was the ethos of that club whilst he joined. He created a vibe, he created the whole atmosphere for the team. And now since he's gone, I feel like he's gone off, man, personally. He's buying random players, got like 20 players on loan. Even as a club, I just don't like the way it's run. Infrastructure of it.
Well, to be
compared
fair,
Arsenal.
even that having so many players on loan has been the case at Chelsea for years. I remember when Leeds were in the Championship.
Yeah, but so, I mean, the whole infrastructure of the club is just not right, I think.
It's soulless.
I
So I was thinking it's a soulless club.
I
Yeah.
quite rate the idea that they send a lot of players on loan because it gives the academy players first team opportunity to play proper football. You know, I quite like the idea of it.
I think my
personally.
only problem with it is they've had barely any of those players that have actually then come into the squad and done well. Like we could Gallagher maybe.
Well, now, yeah, but I mean, you've got Reece James, you've got Levi Colwill who's coming this year, and then I know he left this season, but they also have Mason Mount, who, you know, the year they won the Champions League was Chelsea's Player of the Year.
Yeah, true, and he was on loan down at Derby prior to that. I just think of players. I always think of Hudson-Odoi because he was like meant to be the next big thing, and Bayern Munich win for him for X amount, and then he never ended up happening.
And isn't he in Saudi now?
Yeah, he's
no,
just.
he's at Nottingham Forest.
Did he go to Forest?
He's at Forest, yeah.
Oh, fair.
Mad.
Saudi.
Is that on loan or did they buy him?
No, they bought him, yeah. Scored on his debut as well.
Oh,
Oh,
sick.
fair,
But that's what he. I literally can think of so many Chelsea players because like, half of them were at Leeds. There was one called Lewis Baker, who I remember being at Leeds and he was awful, like truly an awful player. And then I went to a Chelsea match the other season and he was playing for them just because he happened to be there and it was a cup game.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of these players are never going to get a chance for regular first team football. I suppose.
But I think that happens at all. But I mean, City do the exact same thing. City send all of their, you know, talent out. You know, you look at last season, for example, James Trafford was on loan at Bolton. Taylor Harwood-Bellis was on loan. So, and then they sell their players as well. You look, they got 45 million for Cole Palmer, and they got like
They
got a load of money for
load of
James
money for
Trafford.
him.
Yeah, stuff.
So, you know, I think sometimes it's not necessarily the club's fault. Like with Hudson-Odoi, he just didn't live up. I don't really know whether that's Chelsea's fault that he didn't live up to that potential.
Yeah.
You know, the manager at the time or the owner just said, you know what, he's just not good enough. And it's exactly the same as what Pep and City have done with Cole Palmer. They've said, you know what, he's a good player. He's just not going to play for us. So why keep him? Why not just sell him, let him go and play football and take 45 million for him?
Yeah, you're correct. I just, when I look at Chelsea and Arsenal in comparison, maybe it's just because Arsenal have been a little bit more lucky in terms of the actual quality of the young players that they've had. Like obviously they brought in Martinelli, etc. But it seems like a lot more of the young players that were there a few years ago are still floating around. Obviously Smith Rowe, I don't know what's happening with him. He's probably going to leave soon, but he had a run of games at one point.
He was injured, wasn't he? And he had was it a hamstring injury that he had, or a groin? It was a groin injury that he had. So he's only just really come back from that. So he needs to prove himself, doesn't he? Really, he needs to be patient. He'll get games. Because we've got more games this season, haven't we?
I love Smith Rowe personally, just for that goal he scored against Huddersfield, which sent Leeds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to go up anyway.
Leeds legend, Emil
Smith. Yeah, Emil Smith Rowe, the man. I just remember watching the game, and he was the one that meant that we went up that day instead of like a week later.
Yeah, we watched it in there.
Yeah. Legendary. All going on in the game so far, it seems to have been a pretty slow start. I've not really had my eye on it that much.
I think we've having more control, but chances-wise, I think Tottenham are breaking the lines.
I really like that Kulusevski.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's still quite young as well, isn't he? He's only like 22, 23.
Is he? Yeah. He's a unit as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a lot about him.
He's fallen off a little bit. When they brought him in that January, he was fucking... He got a goal or assist nearly every game, but last season he's gone a bit quiet, and I think he's quiet again this season. I think he's scored once this season, so he is a good player though, but he's dropped off a little bit since they brought him in.
Yeah, the thing is, it's weird for me because when I look at this Tottenham team, I'm finding this with a lot of teams this year actually. When I look at Tottenham or Chelsea, there seems to be a lot of players that I'm just like, who are they? I don't know.
Especially with Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea
Chelsea
have got a lot of injuries at the minute, and I'm not trying to be like disrespectful to the players, but I actually don't have a clue who they are.
No, I'm the same. It's hard to keep up.
And then you look at Manchester United at the minute, and they're here starting Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire's back in the team somehow. And you think, how are these...
Sticking a time warp out.
It's like these clubs that have spent billions of pounds can't even field a good team. It's really odd. It seems to really only be, Arsenal and City that are in a position to do that week in, week out.
It's the whole infrastructure of the club, I think. With United, they've got the shit owners. Arsenal's got owners that are fully working in tandem with the whole team. Like Edu, Arteta and Josh Kroenke. They all work in unison. That's why it works. Same with City. The owners are really good with the club. When you go like United with the Glazers,
come on, lads.
You already know where you're at, man.
Arsenal on the attack here. Saka's got it on the wing.
Odegaard.
Oh. Gets the ball into the box.
Right save. Wow.
Jesus.
Great save from the Tottenham keeper, but Saka's in the box again.
Saka, innit?
Yeah, he's an ox, mate. On in, man.
Some sustained pressure there from Arsenal, but Tottenham get a weak free kick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's just looking for that one. He was looking for that one.
That was a really good save.
They're always going to go down there, aren't they?
Right then, boys. I think the most interesting debate of today, right? And I want to ask for your top 5 Premier League strikers of all time.
Somebody else go first.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how we want to do this. Like, should we just go like 1 to 5 each, or do we want to do first and then
do
second?
it in order, or just giving our 5?
I'd say try do it in order as best you can. Obviously, some of them will be quite close. So who's your top striker of all time? I feel like we'll all agree on this
Rooney.
one. He's number 1.
He's number 1, yeah.
Bro, bias, mate.
I am.
I want to hear his point. Why Rooney?
Bro, this guy was unbelievable. He came on the scene at 16, banging goals for fun. The only reason he didn't break Shearer's record is because he decided that he wanted to drop in and play a deeper role and start playing a bit more. The guy was an unbelievable footballer as well as an unbelievable goal scorer. The guy was getting 30 goals a season for fun. He was an unbelievable player. He's one of the most underrated players in Premier League history, in my opinion. I think he's the best striker in the Premier League. Genuinely, I do.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to watch. Was Rooney? I really enjoyed him. He was tenacious, and especially when he went through his like skinhead period.
Yeah,
he was a beast. I really, he's in my top 5.
Yeah, he's
I
in my
wouldn't,
top
I wouldn't
5
put him
for
in
sure.
number
Yeah,
one.
he's in my top 5,
one.
but I'm actually baffled you put him at number 1. I can't
He's
lie.
United bias, mate.
I'm not
Yeah,
baffled. You're a Man U fan, and he was genuinely very exciting to watch, and he caused us a lot of problems.
He won everything at United. Every single club competition he played in, he won.
Yeah.
He won everything for United. And like I said, the only reason he did not break Shearer's record is because he dropped deeper. I mean, he's obviously lost it now, but he was England's top goal scorer of all time.
He knackered himself.
and United's top goals. He's still United's all-time top goal scorer.
But do you not think the fact that he didn't have that longevity to be able to play up front and break those records kind of says something in itself?
But I don't know if it was because he couldn't or he made the decision.
Well, surely
to
you
drop him.
would if you were still phusically able to. You
He
would.
wasn't physically able to.
Yeah.
That's why he had to drop back.
Like the longevity of his career.
Oh, go on.
Arsenal are in the box here. Another great save from the Tottenham keeper.
Yeah. There was
Leads
just
to
nobody
it.
there to collect it, were there? In the middle. We needed somebody running straight in.
Spurs have lost the ball a few times, you know.
Yeah, a couple of-
Wayward passes in the
Oh, he
back,
could have
back line.
played it back as well.
A couple of good attacks there from Arsenal. Putting Tottenham under a lot of pressure.
I want to see this corner actually, because the last game we played, we had that new corner set up where we'd pass it around
Yeah.
instead of crossing
Oh
it
yeah,
in.
that worked.
It's like
Didn't it?
a new tactic I think Arteta's trying to do now.
Let's see if Arsenal can do anything from the corner here. See if they take 30 seconds to put it in again. Saka with the corner. Floats all the way over. Tottenham get it to the edge of the box, but yeah, some good attacks here from Arsenal though.
Yes.
In the box again.
Difficult ball though.
The Tottenham keeper, at first I didn't know who he was, but every time I've seen him play, he's done really well so far.
Christ.
Tottenham on the counter-attack here, but I think it's an Arsenal free kick.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the top 5 strikers of all time. Who's number 1 for you, Faz?
Henry. I'd have to say Henry.
Henry's the best ever.
Yeah, I think
Like with my list, I'm only going off by players that I've watched. So I never really watched Shearer.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting him up top 5 solely for that reason that I've not watched him.
Shearer got the goals, but like Henry just had the magic. He was.
Yeah, man.
I think you ask a lot of pros as well who they'd put at the top. They would put Henry and Shearer. He was the first inductee into the Hall of Fame, and yeah, he just made me fall in love with Arsenal.
Yeah, I can't.
Same, man. Same.
Henry was one of those players that kind of changed the way football was looked at as well. We mentioned this the other week, Josh. I think he's one of those players that changed his position a little bit
Yeah,
and how strikers are meant to perform and can.
started on the left, didn't he?
Also, plus the fact, I know that we're talking about the Premier League, but Henry did it in overseas as well. He did it at Barcelona and
Yeah.
absolutely smashed it there. I know he was more of a winger at Barcelona, but he was still...
He didn't hit the same levels as he did for Arsenal, but
Yeah,
he
he
still
did.
held his own. I feel a bit with
He should
Barcelona.
have stayed at Arsenal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So my number 1 was actually Shearer.
Fair.
Goals.
Yeah, just because he's got the record amount of goals. I think I like the way that he stayed at Newcastle for so long, like just between Newcastle and Blackburn, really. But also the fact I appreciate. No. Good cross there from Tottenham on the edge of the box. Awful shot though. I appreciate the fact he doesn't have as many trophies as a lot of the other players or accolades, but he won the Golden Boot a number of times. He's the top scorer of all time in the Premier League, and he won the league with Blackburn.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
fact
there's
that
something to be said about that, isn't there?
yeah, winning the league, they're probably one of the last teams apart from Leicester outside of the top 4 or 5 teams to win it.
To win the league,
so the
yeah.
fact that he did that and he didn't sell his soul
I
and
like
just
the
go
fact he
to a
was club
United.
loyal. Like Man United came in for him, didn't they? And he said no.
Yeah, and I do respect that. Tottenham on the edge of the box again here. It's gone from one end to the other. Thought he might have fumbled that for a second then. Seems like a game of massive counter-attack so far.
He's good, him though, Doggy. He's a good player.
He looks all right.
Yeah, he's solid.
So Josh, who's your second best Premier League striker of all time?
Probably would be Henry. I don't know. I struggle with
What do you say,
Henry
Van
not because
Nistelrooy?
he's not a good player, but in my mind, Henry's a winger. So I don't know
You think?
like that because I remember him at Barca more than I do at Arsenal.
Right.
So in my mind, I know he played up top, but he's always been a winger to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'd say it's a toss up between either Aguero or Suarez.
Right. Do you know Suarez isn't even in my list? I didn't have him in there.
He's in my list. Yeah.
He wasn't around long, but this guy was fucking insane.
Yeah, he was ridiculous, wasn't he?
Oh, Salah scored against
Yeah,
West Ham.
Liverpool won it up against West Ham. Still 0-0 in this game though.
Yeah.
For now, it's been
It's a cagey game. It's a cagey game.
I'd probably say Aguero just because he was around a bit longer than Suarez was.
Yeah,
so
I
I'd
agree.
say-
I had I had Aguero as
Over
my
Henry?
number 2.
But like I said, in my mind, like I said though, in my mind, Henry's not a striker; he's a winger.
That's
He's not though.
false,
In the
that
Premier,
he's
if you're
definitely
on
a
about
striker.
Premier League strikers, he's definitely a striker.
Yeah, he's definitely a
For
striker.
Arsenal, He was robbed of the Ballon d'Or when he was a centre forward for Arsenal.
But it's
He
like
should
you
have won
said.
it. Nedved won it.
Yeah,
It's like you
yeah,
said, you
definitely.
you can't put Shearer in because you didn't watch Shearer.
That's fair. That's
I didn't
valid
watch
point.
Henry, so
No,
I can't really.
No, that's a valid point. To be fair.
But for me, it's like if you were going to pick, even you, Josh, I'm sure you know how good Henry was to a certain extent. If you were going to pick to have in your team for a season when you needed the most goals, Henry at his peak or Aguero at his peak, who would you pick?
It probably would be Henry, but it's not like a definite.
It's-
Aguero was
I know what you mean.
Similar numbers.
sensational. Like again, Aguero was so injury prone, but the guy was just a bagsman. Like he was a crazy bagsman.
Yeah, and the only difference between Aguero and Henry is that Henry would shy away from big games, whereas Aguero would be the guy for City. He won the league
yeah,
with his goal. You know what I mean? So he was. So for me, it was close. I put Aguero second. I didn't put Shearer on my list because I never watched him play. Just like YouTube highlights and stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, so obviously I had Shearer top, I had Henry second, and then
Yeah.
I had Aguero third, to
Yeah.
be fair. So it's all a very similar
Shearer second.
record. I
You,
feel like
must have watched, I think you probably watched Shearer when you were watching football, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
people disrespect Aguero a little bit sometimes. They don't seem to have him like at the top of the game. I can't believe that you think Rooney's better than Aguero and Henry, though. That is absolutely mental. There's just no way. But let's move on to number 4. I feel like this is the period. Oh, 3. Are you still
I
on
would
3?
have put Rooney for number 3. Personally.
Rooney third.
Yeah.
I picked Kane, me. I think he's a fucking quality striker. And he's done it at Spurs.
I mean, he would have broke the record if he stayed.
He was on trajectory to do it, and I'm a little bit gutted that he moved. Really,
He'll be back. Have you seen that they've got that buyback
He'll be
clause?
back.
They put a buyback clause in the sale,
Right.
So they have a clause in there where they can bring him back. So I think he'll be. I mean, I thought he was going to be at Bayern for a few years anyway. I didn't think he was going to retire.
How
at
old is
Bayern.
he?
He's early. He's 30s, yeah. But the thing with Kane though is he's got that Ronaldo in him where he can still play later because he's got a knack for scoring goals.
Yeah.
And because he's that close to breaking the record, I think he'll come back even if it's for a couple of seasons just to break that.
To give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's not exactly relied on his pace as a player anyway,
never
has
has,
he?
exactly.
So that even if he gets a little bit slower, it shouldn't make too much.
He could
of
drop
a
in deep and provide
Yeah,
play like an almost playmaker role
He's
as well.
Really good.
Remember
to
that? Was
watch
it last
play
season?
football
The
as
season
well.
before where he did drop back and he was providing bare assists to like
He's been
Kulusevski
doing that
and
for a couple of seasons.
and
hasn't
Son.
he? But you just put your. Anytime he's 1-on-1 with a keeper, you would just put your house on him scoring.
What was it?
Yeah.
Was it 3 years ago? He led the league in goals and assists.
Yeah, him
Yeah,
and Son had that
3 years
really good relationship,
Yeah.
didn't they? Where they were both just
I
scoring
think they
or
broke
assisting each other.
Lampard and Drogba's record
Yeah,
of the most
partnership.
goals like assisted by one another. I have Kane 4th, 3rd for me is Suarez.
There you go.
Suarez is third. The thing is, I can't really argue with that. I think my only issue is Suarez wasn't in the Prem for a huge amount of time, but when he was, he was
insane,
mental,
man.
wasn't
He
he?
was insane. I put Suarez as 4th and
Fourth.
Kane as 5th just because I'm an Arsenal fan.
I had Rooney 4th and Aguero 5th. But I like special mentions for me would have been Drogba.
Drogba was my
I
honourable
just
mention.
loved
Yeah.
watching Drogba play football.
I think 5th for me and maybe a little bit early, but Haaland.
Do you know what? I have Haaland 4th. I was about to get.
He's only played one season.
Yeah, but
One season, man.
the
Come
guy's
on.
played
Nah.
his first season. And do you know what? To be fair, he is at the best team in the world and probably a team that's going to go down as one of the best Premier League teams to ever be playing together. The guy was here one season and he already broke
smashed it.
He'll be number 1 on that list eventually.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though.
But right now, I can't put him with that. He's an honourable mention right now.
it depends how long he stays at City because personally, I can't see him staying at City for a long time. Like, I think he'll end up going somewhere else eventually.
I think if you can make an argument for Suarez being on the list, I know he was here longer than Haaland, but Haaland has to be up there already.
I'd say he's an honourable mention just for the fact that he's only been here for one
Yeah,
year.
nah, but
guy's
he,
one season.
no, but
I
even
can't
in
put him at top 5.
in this one season, he's one of the best Premier League strikers of all time. He broke the record for the most goals, and he won the treble.
Yeah, but you're putting him in
He's already-
yeah, but
he's-
are you putting him in over Aguero? Are
No,
you putting him in over Rooney?
No.
I have Rooney 5th, so I picked Haaland as a better striker than Rooney.
But your number 1's getting picked over Haaland.
I just think Haaland is more talented. I would, if I was going to pick one of them at their best to be in my team.
No, I
would
think
already pick
Rooney's got more
Haaland.
I have
talent.
no
Rooney's got
doubt
more.
about
No, Rooney's got more talent than
He's a
Haaland.
much better footballer than
Yeah,
Haaland. But
Rooney was
I'll
sick,
say
man.
Haaland is a better goal scorer.
Yeah, and we're talking
Yeah.
about strikers. I don't want to play him at Cam, so I'd much prefer having Haaland there.
No, but Rooney did get the goals and he was playing in big games and he would get assists as well. And
Yeah, I'm not saying
well in
Rooney's
Champions League.
bad. I'm just saying I think Haaland's a better out and out
That's the ball.
striker. Saka's got the ball on the edge of the box here.
Shoot.
Cuts in. Hits it with the left. Goal!
When he said Romero's a good centre back,
Come on.
I'd have him in Arsenal team, me.
yeah, come on, he scored for us, didn't he? Fuck, you know. Hey, what do you think of Tottenham?
Oh, shit.
What do you think of shit?
Tottenham.
My guy.
It's 1-0 to Arsenal. Really good play from Saka there to cut in and get the shot away. I know it was a massive deflection that meant it went in, but it looked like it was on target anyway. So.
Yeah, he does that brilliantly though, Saka. Like, you know he's going to do that. Like, similar to the Robben, how you knew he was going to cut onto his left, but you can't do nothing about it. Like, all the defenders know he's going to cut onto his left, but you can't do nothing.
Love it. Love it.
25 minutes in. It's been a pretty end-to-end game.
Space there, like there.
I was going to say, it's quite poor defending, to be honest.
I don't know, I think it'll be an own goal.
It looked like it was on target, but it is an own goal because it's taking it well. I think the keeper probably saves it. He looks like he's in a position. It's an own goal, that, definitely.
It depends with the trajectory of the ball.
100% an own goal.
Now, if the shot was on target, then it's not right.
It's come off his thigh as well.
This is a good on goal, eh?
Like slapped it into net.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know.
Knee straight off his knee. Yeah.
I've got Saka in my fantasy team, so I hope it's a fucking
I
Saka
still
goal.
get the assist, even if it's an
An
own
assist,
goal.
yeah.
I think it's an own goal. That though.
It's definitely an own goal.
So, did we have any more? The last bit on the top 5 strikers. Obviously, Chris, you gave an honourable mention to Drogba.
Sorry, yeah.
Vardy.
Yeah, Vardy.
Not a bad shot. is it?
Yeah,
Vardy.
yeah.
You know what? He like
Fucking hell, yeah.
the way he got into the top, man, from like Sunday League
Fleetwood,
Champions League,
was
I
it
mean.
Fleetwood that he played.
Yeah, Fleetwood.
and just the way he played, man, he was so dynamic. He was electric, man. He had something about him. He had this whole aura about him.
I think
Vardy.
he's, like you said, Vardy's journey from the lower leagues to the Premier League is kind of what, when you're a kid in England and you're playing football.
You make a movie about that guy, man. I think you could definitely make him. They have to make him.
They're making a
Are
movie
they?
about him. Yeah,
Sick, I'm
Should have
definitely
been
have to
doing
watch
it
that.
for a little while.
Yeah,
that's the dream, isn't
His
it?
story is
That's-
just something else, man.
I think another honourable mention is Torres.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Torres and Van Persie, I would say. as well.
Yeah.
Who?
Torres,
Van
Van
I've
Persie.
read of him.
Sure you haven't.
But yeah, the reason why I didn't say Torres is because Suarez outshone him. But them 2 years that he was on top,
He wasn't a top 5 striker, but in his prime years,
in his prime years he was,
Torres at
because he was the only guy
Liverpool.
competing with Ronaldo. So like when Ronaldo's trajectory was like when he was getting into his peak, Torres was actually on par with him, and then he got a few injuries and stuff.
I liked
With them a couple of seasons, I think
Van
Torres was sick.
Nistelrooy, mate.
I love Van Nistelrooy. I think one of the best finishers I've ever seen play in the Premier League. Finishing wise, just his ability to finish in the box.
I was at school when he played.
I was that's similar to how I look at Torres in terms of when I was first getting into football and watching it week in, week out. Him at Liverpool, he was just incredible. And he made like a generation of kids support a Liverpool team who were actually pretty shit overall still. But it was just, I remember everyone just loved Fernando Torres, and that was the reason that they chose Liverpool as their team.
Yeah, and he was
So good on the ball.
I think he was one of the only players that made Vidic look poor.
Yeah.
Every time he was up, now Vidic was a top centre back, one of the best in the Premier League. But up against Torres always had him in his pocket.
What you got to say, Josh?
No, you know it's true. Like I'm not bad mouthing Vidic because Vidic is a sick centre back. But against Torres, I don't know what it was about Torres. He always had Vidic.
It happens.
He's had him spinning, but
I think if I've got any other honourable mentions. Do you know, I haven't watched him loads. I've just seen more highlights and stuff. But one player who I always thought, not an out-and-out striker, more of a centre-forward, had a lot of skill about him, Bergkamp. He could always finish, and he has I think he's in the top 10 for assists all time in the
I think
Premier
he was
League.
more like of a shadow striker. Because in the 90s they had a lot of 4-4-2s, and they had one as a shadow striker, which is more like a cam position now.
He was great.
Well, he was sick though.
Yeah.
But he was unbelievable. Like some of the goals that he scored were always in those like top 5, top 10 Premier League goals of all time.
Goal he scored against Newcastle,
With his-
where he just flicks it round and the way.
It's mental, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. That's the best bit of skill I've ever seen, I think.
What about Andy Cole for United?
I don't.
He
Josh,
scored bare
great
goals,
shout.
that guy, man.
you didn't mention him, and he's I think 3rd or 2nd in the top all-time Premier League scorers.
Didn't watch him.
Calling you
So-
out.
Yeah.
Call
He
it
does
out.
get overlooked, but he scored bare goals, man. You can't deny that. He just
Wasn't on penalties either. Didn't take many.
Was he
penalties.
not?
even more impressive.
Bournemouth
Oh, interesting that.
1-0 up against Brighton. Dominic Solanke with the goal.
Away as well, like
Arsenal on the attack here though.
Come
I like this.
In the box. Oh, a good last-minute header there from I don't know.
was
who
that
that is.
Van der Ven or something? Van der
Van der
Ven.
Ven.
Van
He
der
looks
Ven,
alright,
yeah.
him, to be fair.
Yeah.
For Spurs.
He's quite dynamic the way he plays.
Not a good ball.
I feel like Arsenal have generally been on top in this game. Obviously,
I would say so.
Tottenham had one or two little attacks, but they've not really sustained any pressure throughout. Whereas
They don't look craft there.
What do you guys think of Vieira, man? He just pulled that ball in now.
Yeah, I think he's good.
I think he's shining this season. Like he's
Yeah,
fully found his feet and
He's
he's
got a bit of confidence. He needed to sort of like. He's a bit flimsy, wasn't he, in the first
he's
season?
putting a bit
we
of,
had him, but
bit of strength now, and I think he is fitting in really well.
yeah.
where did you pick him up from?
Porto,
was
wasn't it?
Porto, yeah.
Right, it wasn't too expensive either, was it?
I thought it was like
34
30,
million.
35 million.
34 million, I think it was.
That's not the end of the world, I suppose.
Especially this.
Not at that level, it didn't, but
It's a fair
it
amount.
did seem like it came out of nowhere. I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, I had no
No,
idea
same.
who he was.
But he was there. He was the Portuguese league either player of the year or young player of the year.
And he fits Arteta's profile as well. What,
Yeah,
what
he does.
What he looks for in place.
Arsenal's second corner in a row going in here. Right to the back post and cleared again. This must have been like 5 or 6 corners now. Not much has come from him, but wait to see if Tottenham can really force a way back into the game. I think if you're a Tottenham player right now, you just want to hold it at 1-0 till half time. Get that
Yeah.
team talking.
They look shaky anyway from trying to play from the back. They've had a few wayward passes, so I think they just need to steady the ship now.
So, do you boys think that you actually have a chance of challenging Man City for the title this
winning
season?
the league, man, for sure.
I'm going to clip that.
I like to be a little bit more realistic, mate. I think it's too early to say. I think the signing of Declan Rice.
Come on, still in the box.
Oh, how have you missed that?
Come on,
A big miss from Gabriel Jesus.
Gotta be getting it on target
I
there.
know, right?
You can't be missing that.
stinky.
But
Even Madison losing the ball, man.
that's
shows.
shaking them up, hasn't it? Sure.
See, exactly what I just said, mate. Just wayward passes after wayward pass. That poor touch by
That's
Madison
poor,
there.
that.
Reek on the ball.
Jesus has got to do way better
has
than
to
that in
score
that
there.
position.
To be fair, he's done well to win the ball back, but yeah, he needs to get on target at least, man.
Well, it's a warning to him, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did
But no, I do think we have we've got a
Yeah.
better chance to win the league this season than we did last season because I think we've got a better team now.
Do you think that Manchester City are going to drop off at any point, though?
No,
Obviously,
I think they're better than they were last season.
they're already missing De Bruyne, and they've still, have they won every game so far?
Yes.
De Bruyne and John Stones.
Yeah, and they're still absolutely dominating.
They're better than they were last season.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm not sure if they're better than they were last season. Obviously, they made some good signings, and now Alvarez is a real part of the team now. I feel like he can slot in whenever he's needed.
He's a sick player.
Honestly, I think the only way that City fall off is if Haaland gets injured for a long
Who's going to
period.
beat them when they've got Haaland?
Yeah.
Like,
They've dominated teams so far, and I'd love to see. I want it to be more of a competition than it is already. I know Arsenal kept it pretty close last year, but I feel like a lot of the other big teams have really kind of lost their chance already. Obviously, how are you feeling at the minute, Josh? Because United have had a
Fucking pants, mate. I want the season to be finished, mate. I'm
Yeah.
fucking sick of the cunt.
it's been an absolutely stinking start from United.
You reckon Ten Hag needs to go?
No, absolutely not. No.
No, you want to keep him? Yeah,
I
that's
would
fair.
looks like he
I
wants
mean,
to.
the thing is, part of the reason is that we've got a fucking injury list the size of my arm, which doesn't help the team. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean,
Has he lost the dressing room though? I feel like he has.
I don't think he has.
So with this whole Sancho situation, and even Ronaldo the season before, I think a lot of players did fall out with him because of that.
I think the weird thing for me with United is whenever I've seen them play, it looks like there's a lack of energy and commitment in the team. It looks like people can't be asked pressing, people can't be asked tracking back a little bit. I think Rashford's a prime example of that. There's been a few clips I've seen of him where he's just not on it. He's just not.
Oh, it's poor by Rice,
not
man.
tracking his
Very
man.
poor by Rice there.
Rice lost the ball, but Arsenal win it back.
Saliba, yeah, it's quality in.
But yeah, I just feel like the energy in the United team isn't there, and that's something the manager needs to get out the players.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of injuries, and you're playing with worse players than you should be, but it just seems to be at such a crap level.
There's something wrong
I
behind
think
the scenes at
I
Man U.
think
Though.
the issue is we had such a disappointing summer in terms of transfers. Like, we were set up to kind of, you know, and I mean, United do this every year where we're going to fucking sign the best players in the world, and we never do, but we were kind of like, right, okay, this is the summer where we can ship out a load of this fucking shite. We can get rid of Maguire, we can get rid of McTominay, we can get rid of Fred. And we did sell on a few players, but kind of the two that we're going to ship out, that we're going to bring us in kind of the most money in Maguire and McTominay. We turned down 30 million for McTominay, which is fucking stupid. I don't know why we did that. And then just the whole Maguire situation just completely fucked us. I mean, that's why Johnny Evans is starting for us against Burnley in the Premier League in 2023. Because Maguire refused to leave.
Class.
Yeah, you had the whole issue with like, are you going to keep the Glazers or they going? And I think that just messed up your whole transfer window, man.
Yeah.
Because even they were listening to offers, weren't they? So they weren't 100% dedicated to the club in what is a really
They never have
important
been.
transitional period.
It was stuck in limbo, like the whole. Cause all the United fans were saying, "Oh yeah, wait till the Glazers go, and then we'll sign our players," but they never went.
The club's just fucking rotten at the top. That's the problem. The owners are fucking useless cunts. I hate them. Then they're just working down. It doesn't seem to like Richard Arnold and John Murter. I don't really want to say they're shit at the job, but they don't really seem to know what they're doing. Like at Man United, we only ever seem to work on one deal at a time.
Who's that?
The CEO and director of football.
Right, okay.
Like we only ever seem to work on one deal at a time. So when we're doing transfers, we only sign a player at a time.
Focus on that, and then if
And
it
it's
falls
like,
through,
come on, can you not fucking pick up the phone to somebody else? Like, what are you on the phone to? Like when we were doing the Hoyland deal, like what are we on the phone to Atalanta 24/7 until that deal's done? Like you can ring other people, you can kind of pick up other deals.
Yeah, there needs to be a plan B there, doesn't there? And I think it's also led to, and you've seen this over the years, Man United overpaying for players, like massively overpaying, and everyone can see that the transfer fee is too much, and then it leads to these players not only do you not sign as many, but the ones that come in have that much pressure on them that they will probably underperform
And
more.
the wages as well. Like Maguire doesn't want to leave because he wants to stay on his wage.
Yeah.
So they've kind of shafted themselves with that as well.
Seeing that with a lot of footballers at the minute.
What?
though. Odegaard on the edge of the box.
Getting closer, we're getting closer, man.
yeah, they're playing well.
Yeah.
Because they're like 1-0 up. Normally we sit back too much. And this game we're actually going for the second goal.
It
straight away.
really has been Arsenal on top.
I feel like
in the first half.
we can take them.
Yeah, man, for sure.
This is the worst I've seen Tottenham so far. I mean, obviously they weren't great against Sheffield United for a period, but they did dominate them overall. It was just about getting the goal in.
Playing the big boys now.
You just the whole setup with Arsenal is on point, man. Let's go.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like United might end up finishing somewhere like 8th or something this year.
Definitely needed that win yesterday.
I've got a funny topic, yeah. All right, Hoyland, is he Haaland 2.0 or Weghorst 2.0? after watching him last few games,
He's young.
I'm saying maybe he's going to be another
Tottenham
Weghorst.
in the box here.
Oh, no.
Cut it back.
Oh, what a save, lad. Go on.
Unbelievable save there.
Quality, mate.
How can you say he's Vegas 2.0? That is fucking atrocious. He looks good, I think.
I
He
think
looks good,
he
but
looks
his-
sharp.
his,
He looks good, I think.
But his passing is terrible, man. You watched the game yesterday?
He's early days. What's he played like? Has he played 3-4 games, is it?
Yeah, his early days.
If that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made his debut in the Arsenal
Yeah.
game.
And he looked all right.
Oh, yeah.
That was his debut.
To be honest, I do quite like the look of him. I would
I just want to piss him off.
yeah. I wouldn't compare him to Weghorst in any way. But
He's also not Haaland
No.
2.0.
You could have got Kane, though.
Now, Kane wouldn't have gone to United. I
He
think
would.
We wouldn't have got Kane.
I don't think he would have gone.
Why not?
Because Daniel Levy would have wanted 150 million for him to sell in the Prem.
Would he not have been worth it, though?
We don't have 150 million. That's the problem.
Risky this, man. Oh,
That was the biggest problem with United this summer. Is our transfer budget pre-sale of players was 150 million, and we needed more than just a striker.
Yeah, let's have a look at the save, boys.
yeah, this is a fantastic
Really
save
good
from
save. I should have gone in
Right,
that.
Ramsdale's finished.
Oh,
Great
that's
save.
unbelievable.
And he's put himself
Who's that shooting? I think he could have done better, though. Was that
Brennan
Johnson? He could have done better, to be fair, but that was
That's
a
what I
really
mean.
good save.
He's not got much.
Yeah, it was a
but
really
he's
good save, though.
so-
Tottenham here again on the edge of the Arsenal box. Seems
They-
to be doing a little bit better.
Yeah,
in the
they're
last
pressing
5
us.
minutes.
They're pressing us now.
Game's starting to liven up a little bit. We had this debate a little bit off camera, but I wanted to ask you boys about the whole Ramsdale Raya situation. Where do you stand on it? Do you think it's right that Ramsdale's been dropped for a few games in a row now, so it looks
So
like
this is the third game he's been dropped for, and one was the Premier League, one was the Champions League game against PSV the other night, and then this one.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Personally, I think he's dropped Ramsdale.
do you think that's it now?
I think he probably sees Raya as the better keeper, and he is the better keeper. I don't think Ramsdale's a bad keeper, and he did us so well last season. But you have to evolve the team, and if you can't just rest on your laurels and just be like, okay, well, Ramsdale's helped us last season. Therefore, he's guaranteed a starting berth in this team. He's
What did
not.
it cost you though? 50 million was it?
Raya,
No,
Ramsdale, 24.
24 was it?
Which
quite
so
decent, yeah.
the figure that's been thrown around is that if we sign Raya, it'll be 30 million, and Ramsdale will be 24, so that'll be 54 million pounds worth of keepers that we've got, but
I don't think that that's unbelievable anyway. How much did United pay for Onana?
40 odd.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah,
It's not,
exactly.
is it? But I think we had Cech, we had Petr Cech, and when Leno came in, people were saying, "Well, Cech's a legend. You can't bring in Leno. Cech's so good." Well, but he was dropping off a bit, wasn't he? But anyway, we brought in Leno, and then we went. Well, then we had Martinez after that, and then after that, people were saying, "Well, you can't bring in Ramsdale because he's been relegated twice."
Yeah.
And that's his thing. He's been relegated, but then he took us to top of the Premier League for most of the season. All right, we finished second, and now people are saying, "Well, you can't bring in another keeper to replace that," and that evolution has to happen.
Yeah, you've got to keep upgrading in the position.
Yeah, and I feel like Arsenal fans are less bothered about this whole situation than other fans are because we trust the process so much.
Yeah,
We just believe that whatever Arteta's doing will work out for us in the long run.
he's seen Raya's available and turned Raya's head. Raya said, I want to go to Arsenal if I'm available," and he said, "Oh, well, that's a better keeper. Let's have him." Here we go.
Tottenham in the box here. Another good save from Raya.
I don't know if you're
Talking about him.
He should have done better with that
With that cross.
but
Yeah.
That's the only thing with Rai. He's only 6 foot compared to Ramsdale, who's 6'2".
Tottenham in the box
Oh,
again.
bastard!
It's 1-1.
Fucking son, man.
Yeah, it was coming, wasn't it? That for the last 10 minutes, but
is that a Madison assist as well?
The tide of the game really changed there. It went from Arsenal dominating to just Tottenham attack after attack. Son makes it 1-1. Probably the player you'd expect to score out of anyone for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Well, boys.
We were just talking about Ryan. I think he made a mistake there in the build-up to that.
He made a little fumble on the cross, didn't he? But I think we lacked a bit of concentration then.
I understand. I didn't know if Madison went out.
I'm not sure he could have done. I'm not sure he could have done better with that.
could have,
He
man.
was running backwards.
Nah, I see that's really poor keeping there.
He should have. Worst case, he should just tip it out.
Tip
for
it
a
over for
corner.
a corner, man.
You can't parry it back into the box like
Pretty poor for Saka to get beaten so easily by Maddison on the edge of the box as well, though. He didn't even really put much of an effort in to try stick with him. If you watch it,
Gabriel's man at Son as well.
like watch how Saka just letting him. Great play from Maddison though, and a really good, a tidy
Fair
finish
play.
from Son as well.
Good goal.
Yeah, that makes it 1-1, leading into half time.
Not a good time to concede.
I
in the
mean,
game.
to be honest, after the last couple minutes from Tottenham, it's probably pretty fair overall, and it's where the game should be. But
Jesus should have scored, for fuck's sake.
yeah, that Jesus chance was a huge one that he couldn't put away. Arsenal fans in the stadium sweating.
So we, man.
Yeah.
So you boys.
Well, they've all gone quiet now.
Yeah, man.
Bless him. That Arsenal away kit is fucking horrible.
Oh, it's grown on me so much.
The green one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking horrible.
I'm not really a fan of it. Then
Yeah,
again, if
same.
it was a Leeds kit, I probably wouldn't mind it.
You'd well have it if it were
Yeah,
a Leeds
yeah.
kit.
Just because I like them colourful kits, though.
Nah, I'm not a fan either.
I like
man.
it. I think it's
Like,
decent.
compared to last season's away kit, man, it's a bit shit.
I do like your own kit though.
And generally, Arsenal have like the best kits, in my opinion.
Yeah,
in the
I
Prem.
agree.
Yeah.
I think this year it might be Chelsea, to be honest. I really like Chelsea.
I like Chelsea's kit as
I
well.
think that's awful.
I think it looks nice, mate.
I don't like Chelsea, but I do like the kits.
I like that United away kit they wore yesterday. That white with the
third kit, mate.
the
That
white
is
kit.
a fucking beauty.
That's a
that.
nice kit with the
That's-
devil on the logo.
That's the best kit of the year. That I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, man. Good kit that.
I won't go that far, but
What's better? Leeds United home.
no. To be honest, I don't think the Leeds kits are all that this year. The away kit's quite nice, but apart from that, it's pretty shoddy. But we're moving on to half time here. So I say we kick off the little half-time debate, or what I think is it should be the half-time debate anyway, and that is around the Scottish League and some of the biggest teams in the Scottish League. So I wanted to ask, do you boys think Rangers and Celtic would, not straight away, I don't mean if they just got plopped into the Premier League, but if they got put into the English leagues, do you think that they'd eventually get into the top 6, maybe top 8 of the Premier League?
No.
Top 8, maybe. Top
They
6,
They
no.
won't get into top 6 in Championship.
Well, no, but they would eventually. You got to remember, like, think about this logically, right? They're two of the biggest teams in Britain. They are. They sell out every single game. They're teams that have got massive history around the world and do have fans around the world, sell a fuck ton of shirts and merch and tickets and stuff. So let's say even if you were to start them off in League One or the Championship, right? They'd be selling more tickets than practically anyone up to the top 4 in the Premier League. So once you start getting that Sky Sports money, the sponsorship money, why do you not think that they're in with a chance of growing to be a similar size as these other Premier League clubs?
Because the Premier League clubs are already too big.
But
So you've got your traditional big 6. City, they're not better than City. They're not going to catch City. Liverpool, I don't think they're anywhere near Liverpool. Not near Arsenal. United are always going to be richer, have more money. I know we're having a bit of a shit one this year. Same with Chelsea. They're a bit shit this year, but realistically, I think Chelsea is still better. Then Spurs look good this season. And then outside of that traditional big 6, right, Newcastle have just had investments and money coming in, and they look like a very good team that are going to be around for a long period of time. Then you've got Brighton, who are consistently solid now for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Villa have got a lot more money than people realise. They've got a great manager in Unai Emery, and I think they're going to be a decent side. So there's 9 already. There's 9 teams that are already competing for those European places. And then you've got teams like West Ham who float in and around, hit now and again. So I don't see who they're better than out of there.
No, but my argument would be, obviously, there's the obvious ones like Arsenal, United, etc., that are way bigger than them and they probably wouldn't catch up. But I don't think it's as black and white as that, because a lot of these Scottish clubs, we don't know that many fans of these teams, but they're like up in Scotland, like the whole country effectively will support one of these 2 teams. And a lot of people around the world do. Like I do know a few people in England, or people pick one of them at least to follow. Like they will prefer Rangers or Celtic or whatever. So when you're talking about like Villa and the investment they've got, and Newcastle and the investment they've got, my point is, if they were put into the English leagues, they would probably get a similar level of investment. Why wouldn't they? They're huge clubs with 50, 55k stadiums that they sell out week in, week out when they're playing Kilmarnock and Hearts and stuff like that. If they were in the English leagues and they were playing teams like Liverpool, City, Newcastle, they could easily be selling out the same as Arsenal and Tottenham every week, because they're not far off it now.
Yeah, and the way they are, Celtic or Rangers would be fucking
the problem is though, like the Premier League, those teams have already got it, so they're just going to be playing catch up forever. So,
but I don't think that the gulf is as big as you think, and
the quality in football is massive.
No, it is, but that's why it'd take a few years for them to get to that level.
They're gonna take a few years to try and catch up, and in those few years, those other teams are still going to be getting better.
Yeah, there's always risk that they don't.
So there's always going to be that gap.
Yeah.
Unless the only way they catch up is unless, I don't know, Qatar comes in and buys Celtic.
Yeah, there has to be
then they get
solid
a massive
investment.
Massive. But then the problem is now with how strict and tight FFP is as well, like they're just not going to catch up.
I don't think that that's particularly true though, because you look at some of the teams you just mentioned, such as Newcastle and Villa, both of them were in the Championship like 4 or 5 seasons ago. So there's no reason that teams like both of the Rangers and Celtic have bigger stadiums than Villa and Brighton, etc. They would get better sponsorship deals because they will have just as many, if not more, fans, both clubs. So why can't they, in the space of 4 or 5 years, catch up to that same level?
Because in those 4 or 5 years, Newcastle are still going to be progressing.
Yeah, but
Villa's still going to be progressing.
This is just how football works. There's always going to be those swaps in teams and in quality and where people are finishing in the league. It's always going to switch around.
Yeah, I think if Rangers or Celtic came to the Premier League, if there's a potential of like Newcastle or Brighton reaching the top 6, there's every chance that Rangers or Celtic can have that same opportunity if they were in the Prem.
I don't even think Rangers are in top 5 in their own league.
I would be following them.
No, I don't even think they are.
No, I don't know how the Scottish league's looking, to be fair.
I think they're about 5th or 6th.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, to phrase the question a bit differently then, would you like them to be in the English leagues? No.
No.
I think they should keep their own like.
I don't think Swansea and Cardiff should be in the English football leagues either.
I don't think the rest of the Scottish FPL would want them to come to us as well, because they'll make them money.
Well, do you know, actually, I'll give my opinion. I think that the Scottish FPL is probably going to slowly dwindle away anyway, like over the course of however many years. Obviously, there'll always be people supporting those 2 big teams, but apart from that, the attendance figures, etc., for the smaller teams has been dropping for years. So more and more of those fans are just going to either support Rangers, Celtic, or a Premier League team. and just follow them instead.
Well, that's bad for football, isn't it?
It is bad for football, and you see that in the English leagues as well. But I feel like if you were to plop maybe even all the teams, like what is there, like 16 across 2 leagues, if you put them in the English leagues, obviously starting some of them, you'd probably have to start them all at like League 2 or something and just see how they're fared. But I think for the overall health of Scottish football teams, it'd be way better.
Scotland wouldn't want that.
Would they not, though?
To be
They
their
wouldn't
own
want that,
thing. Yeah, they want to be
Do
their
you
own
not
thing.
think doing that would just completely kill Scottish football?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really think, right, as a Celtic fan, say a diehard Celtic fan is going to go from being the best team in the country year in, year out, winning league titles, to all of a sudden travelling down to fucking League 2 games? In the south of England, they've got to travel like 8 hours to go and watch their team play. They're going to, you know what, fucking sack that. I can't be asked.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And then the other side of it is, do you really think League 2 fans are going to go, fucking hell, we've got Aberdeen away this week. Fuck me, I've got to go right to the top of Scotland.
Well, no, but there's already a lot of away days that are hundreds and hundreds of miles away. Like when
There
the team
are, but I
plays
mean,
something
fucking
like Plymouth.
Aberdeen is fucking So say Plymouth are playing Aberdeen. Aberdeen's in fucking Highlands. It's probably like a 12-hour journey just to go and watch your team play for 90 minutes.
I know, but that's the initial reaction. But if you think of it on a more long-term scale, if not, then a lot of these teams are probably going to start just disappearing. They're going to have barely anyone going. Like, what would you rather have? The chance to be able to get into the higher English leagues? Because let's be real, there's the Championship in terms of overall attendance figures and the amount of good teams in there. If you took out Rangers and Celtic, it's 10 times better than the Scottish League.
Yeah, but
So if they had the chance to get to that level, then surely
then
it's a
the
positive.
thing is, you're also going to just completely kill these teams. So I've said it from the fans' perspective. You think as a Celtic player, you're going to go from winning fucking league every year, and then your manager turns around to you and goes, right, listen, boys, next season we're going to go play League 2. They're going to say, fuck this. They're going to get on the blower to the agent and say, listen, mate, get me the fuck out of here because I am not playing League 2.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, Celtic are no longer Celtic.
It's true, yeah.
Celtic will have to go into the Prem though.
They'd have
The
to
Champions
stick them
League
in
team.
the...
You wouldn't.
How would he stick him? How would he fit him into the Prem? But
It's not fair, is it?
you would have to though.
But you can't.
You can't.
That's
Because if you
impossible
put
to do.
them in, somebody has to go.
Yeah.
So then you kind
Or
of
you
go.
have to make the league bigger, and that's just not going to
That's not
happen.
gonna work. Yeah. But you can't put Celtic in League 2, man. You're a
you'd-
Champions League team, man.
have to.
From Champions League to League 2.
That's what I mean. So
Then
all of these
Barcelona
players,
to fucking Plymouth.
so all these players are just going to go, do you know what, mate? Fucking
Yeah,
sack
what
that, get
happened?
me out of here. And then that gap that we were talking about, mate, it's
gone.
fucking...
It's gone.
Celtic are never Celtic anymore.
No, that's true.
All
That's
right,
the
all
problem.
right. I take that point. yeah, I take that point. I'm not even going to try.
Rangers managed to build themselves from 4th division in Scotland again,
Yeah.
didn't they? They managed to
Yeah,
get back
they're
into
back up.
Premier.
Another question then. Maybe not in the leagues, but I think that this is probably the best shout. I think that the Scottish teams should be in a cup competition with the English teams. I think that's a good shout.
That would be good.
It'd help.
Yeah.
Not only would it be entertaining. Imagine if instead of Leeds playing fucking Shrewsbury in round 3 of the FA Cup, we got to play Hearts, or we got to play Celtic or Rangers or Kilmarnock or whatever. But not only would it help us, but I think, like I was saying about the health of the smaller teams in general, if every couple of seasons one of those smaller teams got to play Man City at the Etihad, where they get a lot of the revenue, or Man City go up there, or Man United go up there,
Yeah.
it'd be a good day out for English fans and for Scottish fans being able to go to a different away day. It'd bring more eyes to both leagues and both sets of teams. I think that that's a
Yeah.
Yeah, like instead of the Carabao Cup, you have like this whole UK Cup.
yeah, or you just let them join the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I think. What's your thoughts on that one, Josh?
I don't know. I just think it's more games. Then that's the only problem. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at say City. You got your top 4 in the Prem: City, Arsenal, United, and Newcastle this year. I mean, City expect to go a long way in all cup competitions. They'll probably play 50, 60 games already as a team. So you start adding more teams to cups, which is more games. It's not a bad idea. It would be quite a decent idea, but that's the only downside to it is you're adding more games for these players that already play like nearly 50 games a season.
Teams in Scottish League.
And you'd still keep the top teams in the same rounds in
isn't
the
it 12
Carabao
in
Cup.
Premier?
Just have
Yeah,
more
yeah.
rounds
It's only
previous.
12 in Premier. That's what...
Yeah, you could do it where the worst, like the Premier League teams, big ones only join at a certain point anyway, and have the Scottish teams in that kind of like.
Yeah, and it'll give a good
first-
indication of see how like
Yeah.
Celtic would
Yeah.
fare in like
Stick 'em
a
in
cup
round
competition
3.
with English teams if they were, what kind of level were they at?
I think it'd be really interesting. I'd proper enjoy to see it because I know like Celtic and Rangers fans think that they would have a good chance against some of the English teams, but in reality, I think that they're championship level clubs. I don't think they'd. I think if we did like we were saying and put them in the Premier League, I honestly think that they'd get relegated straight away. Like they'd do unbelievably badly.
Or like Celtic or
Celtic and Rangers. I think
Rangers probably. I don't know about Celtic. I think they like scrape staying up, but I'd say they're better.
Yeah, a lot of the
In
players
the Premier League.
I think they're better than Luton. They're better than Sheffield United. So then you're really just scrapping to stay out of that.
I don't even know. I think most Sheffield United players would be starting for Celtic.
I mean, the other thing that you've got to consider is if you did do that, like you said, that they might be shite away, but at home they'd be fucking quality.
Yeah,
so
they'd
be. I think they'd scrape a few points and wins. I don't think they'd go down straight away, but they're not good enough to challenge anywhere in the Prem.
I think it's like you said as well. It'd be such a long away day for some teams. Like if you're in London and you got to go all the way up to Glasgow, it'll be quite a daunting prospect, I'd imagine.
No, but Spanish clubs do that, right? It's bigger country, Italy, Germany. Yeah, bigger countries. They travel longer distances, right?
That's true.
So honestly, I don't see why that's an issue for us.
Yeah.
Maybe just the culture here that we're not used to having that much.
They're
trouble.
used to doing that. They
yeah,
do that.
I guess. But it's not really a big issue though. If these clubs are doing it and like, fans are doing it in other countries, surely we should be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, I really like the idea, mate. I just think it'll be a shame in 5 or 10 years when a lot of these smaller Scottish league clubs are just dissipating. And I think it's going to be a shame. It's going to be an issue in English football as well when you see some of these like League 2 and League 1 clubs, especially the London-based ones. You already see it. Teams like MK Dons get about 3 fans a game because everyone's just going to support one of the big boys in London, aren't they? So I don't know how you really promote people to support their local team more because the gulf in football quality is just getting more and more, and it's only going to continue to do so. Plus, like, the amount of marketing and budget that's put behind people supporting a Big Six Premier League team is massive.
And they're so expensive in this country as well. Like to buy a season ticket for like a League 1 team is equivalent to like Bayern Munich's season ticket. I mean, if you're spending so much money for like it just puts people off, really, I think.
Yeah, there's some teams that do it quite nicely, but a lot of teams just absolutely rip people off. Yeah, well, even like for me, Leeds in the Championship, it cost me what, £600 for a season ticket this year.
It's bang out of order, that.
Yeah. How much is an Arsenal season ticket now, though? Isn't it?
Expensive, man. I think it's the most expensive one in.
I think Spurs is the most expensive.
Is it? Is it Tottenham now?
Yeah.
Not surprised. Just got that new fancy stadium.
But then it's not going to go down once they've paid the stadium off, is it? It's only
it's going to stay. It'll stay. Like,
yeah, it's set like that now. But get the Scottish League teams in a joint cup with the English teams.
I think that'd be nice. Like Carabao Cup introduced the
Scottish.
That'd be
quite good. I think they could go with that.
Yeah, it's weird as well because a lot of those teams actually have they ever won a European Cup?
Yeah,
I think Celtic haven't they?
So have Aberdeen.
It's mental.
Big Saf.
There was a time in the past when the Scottish teams were actually some of the best in the world, and they had like I think Gascoigne was there for a little bit. And
was at Rangers, yeah.
Yeah, Fergie won it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Best
there you go.
driver.
But it's weird how far they've dropped off. Now when you see them in the Champions League, you just expect them to get absolutely peppered. Obviously, Rangers had that amazing run in the Europa League last season or the season before, though, didn't they?
Yeah. Like Celtic are all right. Like I think they would cope in the Premier League.
Dragging them through, weren't they?
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Maybe they wouldn't do. Maybe they wouldn't just go straight down. Then, like I think.
I don't think Celtic would. I think Celtic would survive in the Prem. But I don't think they would be a top 6, maybe top 8, top half team. No, I wouldn't say they'd be
I think they would after a certain period of time.
No, it depends where you're putting them and how much money you're giving them to join. You'd have to give them money to join the league.
It's like any other club. The amount of money,
parachute payments from you get when you get promoted, you get payments. You'd have to give them a big payment to sort of help them survive.
Well, yeah, but any team in the Premier League gets that TV split, so they're gonna get that. That's just automatic. So they'd be getting X amount a season. I just think that you're underestimating how big they are in terms of the sponsorships and stuff they'd get. It'd be very similar to some of these top level Premier League teams.
How well have they done Scottish teams when they've played Premier League teams in Europe in the last 10 years?
Shad.
Awful.
I remember years back when Rangers got Leeds out, didn't they?
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really tough one. It's a really tough one, but get them in a cup competition, maybe not.
That'd
in
be
the
fun
league.
as well. That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think the league's just such a drastic thing to change.
It's a good way to incorporate them.
Is
though.
it fair?
See how they fare in like
on
cup competition.
the teams that they leave behind as well? Does that league then vanish?
Yeah.
Does it become then the Northern
If you
Ireland
took
League?
them
like-
out, if you took them out, you'd have to take everyone. You wouldn't be able to keep everyone in because, like you say, it just become irrelevant.
Yeah, and it's like, where do you then draw the line? Because I'm sure there's probably a third division in Scottish football as well.
You're not only moving resources into the Premier League, you're moving it away from the Scottish Premier League and away from those teams that have to exist in that as well.
They've got their own ecosystem at the
Yeah,
minute.
it's their own ecosystem, yeah. And those teams, like, Celtic and Rangers, bring those other teams money.
Mm. Yeah, true. Without them, the other teams would die. That's why I was saying you'd have to bring the other teams over and put them in the lower leagues.
Not necessarily die, but yeah, they drop off in terms of the revenue, surely.
Oh, massively. A lot of the teams from when I was looking into this, it seems that the only time they really sell out is if they're playing Celtic Rangers or their more local rival.
And the TV money that will come with that as well.
Yeah, I don't know how
They
much
play
that
each
is.
other like
It's on
they
TV
play each other
now,
like
though.
is it
It's on Sky already.
they play each other 4 times a year as well, 4 times a season.
Celtic and Rangers.
Well, altogether they do, don't they? The Scottish teams play each other like 4 times a season.
Do they?
I don't think they do.
There's only 12 in the league. Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it? I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even know that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
mental. 2 home and 2 away matches.
Makes sense.
you're
if it's only
getting,
12.
so you're getting, you're getting all those games against Rangers and Celtic
Yeah.
and the revenue that comes with that. If you
Well, I
take-
guess that's why whenever they play each other, everyone goes, "Oh, well, it's because it genuinely will be probably. They'll probably do it 5 times a year in the
You're about
cup
it all the
final
time,
as
don't
well."
you? It's like, fucking hell, it's Old Firm again. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
for week on it.
for the
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
time this season. Do us a favour, mate. Will you grab us a beer out of there? I'll just go for your usual hazy, please. Careful of them glass. Push the glass in a little bit on the left, please. Yeah. Just push it in a bit so it don't fall out. Thank you. Yeah, good. So it's the second half. It's going to start in a couple of minutes. How we both feeling about that first half overall? What's your thoughts?
It's just that Tottenham scored at the perfect time to
Yeah,
get
I
an
think
equaliser in
they
the
did as
game.
well.
Just before half time, it just kind of
I think if that
Yeah,
Jesus
took the wind out of ourselves,
goal-
man.
Well, the Jesus attempt
chance went in.
would have gone in. We'd have been in a completely different position now. But that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, he should have definitely done better with that, Jesus.
You've got to be hitting the target. You can't, from that range, be putting it over the bar. I
He knows
you
as
can
well.
understand if it goes wide or at the keeper, but over the bar from there, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's actually harder to do so.
Yeah.
For West Ham.
Yeah, and I took Son out my fantasy team thinking that he'd do rubbish this week.
Well, Brighton have equalised as well.
It's a tough one, that. Yeah, other scores, Brighton 1-1 with Bournemouth. And what was the other one?
1-1 West Ham.
1-1
Liverpool.
West Ham, Liverpool.
Chelsea 0-0 with Villa.
Chelsea this year, man. Damn. I don't see him winning a game.
They've been like that for a year now.
I know.
They've, they've been a 12th position club for a year.
What was the stat that I saw the other day? They've not beaten a top 8 Premier League team in over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over 500
What,
days
and
or
that-
something like that.
Biggest club in London.
Exactly, mate.
No. That's historically. I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, but come on, Arsenal went through a period where you lot were shy.
But never on this level, though. Never this
yeah,
shit.
we did.
Never
yeah,
this
we
shit.
did, but
But never this shit,
all
though.
about where you're at now. And Chelsea have been 12th for a year.
Yeah, but you can't just say that. You're only saying that because of where
Well,
you're at now.
Yeah, exactly. I am.
But we were never that bad. We were never that bad as Chelsea have been this past season, though.
It's nice. It's nice to see where we're at now.
We had that one like really poor season when we had Emery and Arteta in that one year. We finished like what, 9th or something, 8th or something maybe.
Well, under Emery, we finished 5th, and then we finished 8th twice under
Yeah.
Arteta.
Yeah,
So that's not that far off what Chelsea
it's
are
not
doing
12th
now.
though, is it, man?
Well, no,
It's
but
not
the
12th.
season's not over, is it?
No.
And where did they end up
And
finishing?
look how much
last
money
season?
they spent.
12.
We didn't
was
spend
it?
that much money, man. They've spent crazy amount of money, man, like billions.
Yeah, they spent is it a bill?
Yeah, I think they did
it's
altogether.
daft like that, man.
Just short. I think it's 900 something mil.
All right, a question then. Where do you actually think Chelsea are going to finish this season?
About 10th, maybe. 10th.
Yeah, I, no higher than 8th, I don't think.
So definitely outside the top 8. What are you saying,
Just better
Josh?
teams.
I think they'll get a Europa League spot.
You think they're going to come like top 7? Whoa.
No.
I don't-
Europa,
They also have
Europa
a-
League.
They also have a lot of injuries. And the thing is,
5th.
that 5th or 6th.
No.
But think about, they don't have Europe this year, whereas other teams do. So other teams have got to start playing midweek games when Chelsea don't.
It's such a mess.
Well, who are they knocking off then? Who's not finishing in Europa League because of Chelsea? I'm saying United if that's the case. If Chelsea are finishing in Europa League, I think United are dropping out.
Maybe United. I think Newcastle look a bit shaky this season.
Yeah. they don't look the
And
best,
because they
do
got Champions League as well, Newcastle are going to struggle, I think.
I think I don't know. Brighton could struggle once the Europa League kicks in.
Yeah.
Villa have got a European place this season, so they could struggle this year. So it's not. And I mean, Chelsea have a lot of it. Well, he's fucking garbage, him.
Son, he's all right.
I think Chelsea have a lot of injuries as well.
Jorginho as well. Jorginho as well.
Yeah. Jorginho.
Yeah, Arsenal bringing on Havertz and Jorginho here to try to switch the game up a little bit.
Trying to shore it up a bit, aren't
I
they?
imagine he's taken Vieira off.
Yeah, Vieira looked like he was hobbling at one point.
Yeah, he went off.
And he's
for
taking Nketiah off. No, Eddie's there, isn't he?
But yeah, I do know what you're saying. I think once
taking Rice.
Chelsea at the minute for me,
I think Rice has gone off for Jorginho, maybe.
I mean, Rice didn't have the greatest half, to be fair. So
He did lose the ball a few times. But
The only reason you take him off is if he's got a knock.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, Rice.
Yeah, he's got.
yeah, so
Yeah,
Rice and
Rice-
Vieira off for Jorginho and Havertz.
That's what I was saying.
Interesting. Jorginho's a good player, though.
do you know what? I respect him doing that, though. I mean, it might be due to injuries, but it's big changes to make in a game where for the last 10 minutes of the first half you're doing bad.
Jorginho's good as well.
Yeah, Jorginho is a good player. Straight away, Arsenal on the edge of the Tottenham box here, but Jesus loses it. What's the verdict on Jesus so far?
He does a job.
Yeah. He's just come back from injury, hasn't he? So
But do you not think that he's one of those players that everyone said a similar thing at Man City where he's not like a star man, he just does a job? Like, is that really?
I don't think
is
he's
that
a
what you
finisher.
want?
He's not a number 9 in my opinion.
he's not a finisher.
He's a good
That's the
focal
only thing
point
that he
for the
hasn't.
team, I think, up front. He's got that energy and that skill to progress the ball forward. But he's not a natural finisher, is he?
I don't think he's
Nah.
number 9.
I think his link-up play with Havertz would be good, though. He's one of the players that would bring Havertz into the game.
I think there's a possibility for that to happen, but I don't know. Whenever I've seen him play, obviously he scores a fair amount of goals, but I don't think he brings much. I don't know.
I
He just
think he
doesn't
brings
bring
energy. I think he
loads
does.
special though.
No, he does.
I
As a
do,
centre forward, he doesn't. But as an overall player, he does bring a lot. But as a goal scorer, no. I agree with you.
I
Finishing
think
isn't there.
that's probably the weak spot in the Arsenal side is you.
Yeah,
Lack of
I
finishing.
agree.
because him and like Eddie and Nketiah, like how long
He's
are you
the
going to
same.
keep
He's
trying him?
Yeah, I'm not sold on Eddie, to be honest.
Like I like him. He seems like a nice lad. He did good at Leeds, all that.
He's
but
got good mentality as well.
I think when your striking options are them two, it's not where you want to be when you're trying to challenge for the league. Like if you look at practically, I mean, obviously, Man United are the only team without a decent striker at the minute because he's not played enough to know.
yeah.
Whereas Man City are doing well with Haaland. When Nkunku comes back for Chelsea, he's fantastic. Liverpool have got Salah. So really, it's Arsenal up in that top 4 that are struggling with their out and out striker.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but we still score goals.
They're getting rid of like Balogun as well. He scored like 20 odd goals for the French league last season. I thought he would have got a replacement or something, but I guess you're just sticking with Eddie and Jesus up top.
Yeah, I don't think.
I could see you going for Tony in January. To be
We-
Yeah, I'll
that-
take Tony, mate.
That's
Yeah,
definitely
I
what
would
we'll
take
do.
Tony, mate. He's
We'll definitely go for Ivan Tony. And the only reason we didn't go for him is because of he likes a bet.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That it was weird because they made such an example of him for that gambling scandal. There's been other players and apparently a manager that's been done for it since, and they just kept it.
Yeah, I think
under
it's because Tony was so high profile, like such a good player, and he was getting
Yeah.
into the English squad. You had to kind of make an example of him.
Yeah, when you're sniffing around England squad, then
I think
and you
yeah,
do
more
this,
high profile,
yeah.
I
You
guess.
need to
extent
make
of
that
it as
set an
well was
example.
quite bad. Like he was fucking like 300 odd bets or something like that. Like he's been
He was
doing-
saying that he never betted against his team, though. He always
Yeah.
betted for his team and himself, but still, I do feel that's wrong.
He said most of the time
he
it was on himself to score, which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think's that bad, really.
I
But it's
don't-
still
he said-
wrong, you know.
He said in
it's
an
not-
interview he'd only ever bet against Brentford if he wasn't playing.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Fair enough then.
Yeah, he shouldn't be betting against his own
Dodgy,
team
Yeah, man,
it's dodgy that, yeah.
under any
He
circumstances.
said a few
really
dubious
But then
things
if he's
against
not
Brentford as
playing,
well.
then why does it matter?
Because he's still teammates with them.
Yeah, but-
and they could be
Sorry to
colluding in
lose
some
the
sort
ball
of
there,
way,
man.
couldn't they?
Tottenham through on the attack.
Saliba lost the ball when he really shouldn't have. Halfway, but
Should have maybe done a little bit better with that, to be honest.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I think you should never be betting against your own team because, as you said, you're going to know who's injured, you're going to know who's up for the game, and this and that, what the manager's thinking. So that's a bit wrong. An amazing ball. Oh, Maddison could have had an unbelievable goal there if he managed to get it under control or get a shot off quickly. Couple of minutes into the second half, and it seems to be panning out very much like the first half, just like one team attacking and then the other.
Pretty
straight-
even,
yeah.
End
Yeah.
to end, yeah.
It's like a basketball game.
Who's the Tottenham left back? Did you say he seems to be doing quite a good job of?
Udogie. They
Udogie.
signed him this summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Where'd they get him from?
I want to say Sporting, but I could be wrong.
I mean, surely he's better than Reguilon.
For sure.
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't think he's done too badly since he signed.
I just think he's one of those players that's got a big mistake in him most of the time.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but we only signed him for. I mean, he's on season-long loan, but there's a break clause in.
Arsenal corner.
That's
Handball. Surely that's a handball.
Go look at it.
One Odegaard.
Odegaard on the edge of the box, blocked.
Gotta
And it
look
goes
at
for
that.
another
Yeah, they
Arsenal
got a
corner. VAR's going to look at
Was
the
it
handball.
Romero again? Imagine.
It should have been handball against United as well.
All right, come on.
Look at this here.
Handball, 100%.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
It's got to be a handball.
Has to be done.
Looking like it's going to be an Arsenal
He's got
penalty
his
here.
arm right
It has
up.
to be right on his hand.
Yeah.
It's close, but he's in a
It's not
awkward
taking a
position. It's not an
deflection.
awkward
It's
position.
just his arm
Yeah, his
still.
arm out here. Yeah, I was.
So all I'm going to say, yeah, is I'm not saying that that's not handball. But if they give that, how is that any different to the one that he had against Man United a few weeks ago?
I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like the shot is actually
Yeah, that-
at least
Yeah,
going
but
on target.
He's what?
That's
Inches away
handball.
from-
No, he's
Yeah.
not that close.
I'm
It's
not,
handball.
I'm not saying it's not handball. I'm just saying this is the problem that I have with VAR. Is
no
it's
The
There's
inconsistency.
no
The
consistency
inconsistency.
in it.
Yeah.
like the reason that they didn't give it United against United is because he was that close to him. He couldn't not do anything. Whereas that's the same situation there.
That's preventing a.
Why are they still
definite
checking
goal.
this?
Oh, it's checking the foul.
They've been checking this a long time now. I thought it was a pretty obvious decision. Yeah, I didn't see the foul actually
I
though.
think they're checking a foul that maybe Jesus. But
Oh, that's
that's
not a
that's
foul.
soft,
That's not
mate.
a
That's
foul.
so soft.
I'd be very surprised if this doesn't get given.
It's got to be a penalty. That.
Waiting for the decision still.
Yeah, Romero better than.
This has been a long way. I don't know
Gabriel
how this is so
apparently.
difficult.
Get him in.
Where
He's gone to the monitor.
That means they're going to give it, doesn't it?
Yeah, usually.
referee's going over to the monitor now. Yeah.
You know, fingers crossed. Fucking hate this VAR bullshit, man.
Fucking
Fuck,
shit.
you know.
innit, bro? It's
Pisses me off.
Doesn't it? And even when you score a goal, you're waiting to be able to celebrate now.
It's fucking killed us this season already. I mean, fucking killed us against you lot, killed us against Spurs, killed us against Brighton. Bayern.
That's going in, man.
I don't know if it is actually. I don't know if it is going in or if it's going over. But
Well,
either way, it's a goal scoring opportunity,
And
and,
he's
it's
blocked it with his hand.
definitely a handball.
If you don't give this now,
The thing
mate.
is, though, he is so close. Like, what's he
That's-
really meant to do there?
That's what I mean. Is if they give that, how is that any different to the one that was happened against United?
Let's give it.
Yes, lad.
Yes. Arsenal penalty.
Yeah, come on.
Who's going to be on it? It's
Saka.
yeah, but
It'll
sometimes
be
it's
Saka.
Odegaard recently.
Odegaard. Oh, Odegaard started taking them, and he took the last one, I think.
No, he took the one before, then Saka
Right.
took one, and then
I'm happy with
That's
either
all.
of them.
I hope it's soccer.
I've got Saka in my fantasy team. So I mean,
I'd rather have Odegaard take it, I'm not going to lie.
A bit unlucky from Tottenham because that's one of those where it is 100% a handball, but likewise, there's not much that the defender could have done in that
Yeah,
situation because
yeah.
he's going down for the tackle. It's a pretty natural
it was like a
position.
flash. It was just a
Yeah.
flash. Yeah.
It is, it's unfortunate.
But it's
really,
just
isn't
even
it?
funnier that it's Romero twice making a mistake against us. So I'm happy about.
Saka's taking it.
Is it? Yeah, sound.
Saka, star boy with the penalty here for Arsenal.
Yeah, big occasion.
Where do you reckon he's gonna go?
Bottom right.
Bottom right. Yeah.
No idea.
Top left stand.
In.
Top left stand.
Rosette.
In.
Right, come on now.
No, he'll bury this.
Tottenham keeper's done really well so far this season, so it wouldn't even surprise me if he manages to pull off a save here.
Sure.
Saka's lining up for the penalty. The
Go on,
keeper's
bottom left.
confident. Keeper's confident. He's pointing to where Saka should put it.
Bottom left. Oh, straight down the fucking middle. Yes.
Come on.
Fuck, you know. Come on.
Take that. That's a tenner in my pocket.
Is that your shot on target, right?
Top man.
I thought you were saying you wanted him to take it because you thought he'd miss.
Because I want me fucking pest and
Aye, go on.
2-1 to Arsenal in the North London derby. Saka, penalty, good enough, isn't
It's
it?
about right, is that as well?
Yeah.
We've definitely been the better
Is
team.
that not a booking though? If he's handballed it in a goal score, they've obviously given it because they've seen it as.
It was not deliberate at all, though. Completely.
But it's still
and it's so close.
prevention of a goal scoring opportunity. I don't know
Do you think that, yeah, maybe it's because it's not deliberate?
because I feel like that's why they've given the penalty is because if it hadn't have hit his hand,
Yeah.
you'd say it's going in. So.
Yeah.
Is it not prevention of a goal scoring opportunity? I mean, it would have been a harsh yellow to give.
Yeah.
But is it not a yellow card by the letter of the law?
I mean, potentially, but again,
don't
the
know.
rules are a bit clouded at the minute. I feel like there's been a lot of changes in the Premier League with VAR and also that added time rule that weren't explained very well and then just get changed without any knowledge. Like they've clearly changed that added time thing, but I've barely seen out about why it's been changed or what the original decision was.
Prevent time wasting because there was a lot of minutes were like wasted last season, especially like Newcastle and.
But why have they?
They were the worst for it last season. Like,
Why
remember
have-
that game against Arsenal? They just fucking wasted so much time.
Why have they then switched it back? Because now there's been nowhere near as much time added in the last couple of games that I've
I
watched.
think they
Because I
find
think
like the
people have
perfect
stopped
balance.
doing it.
Do you think it's actually worked? Tottenham here through Son in the box.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me, man? What the fuck has happened? Fucks. The fuck. Oh, what the fuck has
out
happened,
of
man?
nowhere, absolutely out of nowhere.
The fuck.
Within, it must be a minute of Arsenal scoring that penalty. Son scores his second goal of the game, makes it 2-2. Really poor that from Arsenal to turn off like that straight away after a goal.
Yeah, fucking terrible, man.
Yeah, it's shit. Lack of concentration. Oh, piss off.
Why is he Madison doing his own?
Son and Maddison, really, really shining for Tottenham at the minute. Well, boys, I want to see what happened here because
I
I just looked up.
And
Out
they
of
were-
nowhere.
Ah,
Jorginho,
fucking hell,
wasn't it?
man. What is he doing?
Awful play from
Fucking
Jorginho.
idiot, man. You can't blame the keeper there. It was just fucking old Jorginho's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Jorginho on that.
Idiot, man.
Clinical.
Yeah, 2-2. You know, it's been. I said 3-2 to Arsenal, so
Yeah, fair.
could still happen.
Yeah,
could still happen.
My score's on now.
Yeah, well, you said 2-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got more goals in it, this, I think.
Yeah, I think so, you know.
Was that real? What the fuck? I thought that were like the chair or something.
Clip it.
I don't think the mic will have picked that one up. It'll just be us
That's
laughing.
what I think of Tottenham.
How are we feeling then, boys?
I'm feeling good.
Oh, you're feeling good.
Mixed emotions, man. Mixed emotions.
This guy is actually terrible at football. I'm sorry, but he
Havertz.
stinks. He's
Yeah,
fucking
he's
garbage.
fucking terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he is, man.
I feel like as an Arsenal fan, you kind of want to be nice, but even it's got to the point you just like.
Since we signed him, man, I haven't seen the vision behind it, man.
Game that we've played him.
What's he done?
He hasn't done anything, but it's 6 games. We can't be that quick to sort of throw people away.
Oh yeah, true. Especially when you signed him for that much.
The
But
thing is, though,
It happened,
He had-
it's happened
he's-
with loads of Arsenal players.
he's had a full season in the Premier League
know.
already, though.
We had players there, like we had Trossard who could have filled in there. We had Smith Rowe. We got rid of Xhaka and we got Havertz. Like,
Shouldn't
come
have
on,
got rid
man.
of Xhaka, I don't think. I think we should.
I think we kept him, man.
Season. He was good.
He's smashing it for
He
Leverkusen.
was.
They're top
he
of the
had
league.
one good season.
He's smashing it at Leverkusen now.
And they're top of the league as well,
fucking
man.
Farmers League. Come on, man.
Yeah, but they're ahead of
Farmers
Bayern right
League,
now.
Is it?
Huh?
Not a Farmers League, is it?
The Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Haven't Bayern won that 12 years in a row?
Yeah, but there's still good players that play in that league.
Yeah.
It is-
It's still a Farmers League, though.
Just because
There's good
Bayern
players-
have won it a lot.
I don't
There's
know.
good players that play in the French league. It doesn't mean that the French league.
Well, yeah,
is-
but you can't just say it's a farmers league because you could even have Man City won 4 out of the last 5 Premier Leagues.
Yeah, is that
Just-
a
so-
Farmers
which
League?
isn't 12 in a row.
Well, I know, but it's getting to that point, isn't it? And like last season, Bayern Munich only won it on the last day by 1 point over Dortmund. So it's not like there isn't other good teams in there.
It's a
And also,
I
saying
think
that-
out of all the other European leagues, Bundesliga is probably one of the more entertaining ones to watch. Obviously, it's Spain. You know, it's just going to be Bayern, or not Bayern, Barcelona or Real Madrid every year. Maybe Italy in the last few years, but
yeah,
even Italy's
and
a good team.
Shaka was a better player than Havertz has been this
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
So
100%.
that's the point.
Yeah, I think there was so many better options than Havertz, but it's like a joke at this point. Everyone just knows. Everyone
I think
just
he
knows.
gets a lot of kids online on Twitter taking offence to him. I do, Havertz.
Why? What do you mean?
I
taking
just think a lot of kids want to like have a crack at Havertz.
because he's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see Havertz.
He was shit at Chelsea as well. It's not just because he's an Arsenal player. He was shite at Chelsea
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, true. It's weird that in the Bundesliga he did do really well for a season or two, But it's like from there,
Bundesliga tax.
yeah, there's no way that he's ever going to hit similar numbers in the Premier
Can't
League, in my
remember
opinion.
They've probably Son is probably the last player that's come from the Bundesliga to the Prem and actually
And smashed it.
lived up. In recent years, you've had Kai
Aubameyang
Havertz.
was good, wasn't he, for a bit for us?
Yeah, Aubameyang was good for a
Aubameyang,
couple of
yeah.
seasons.
No, he was.
Yeah.
He was all right, yeah.
And there's obviously like Bellingham at Madrid at the minute. I know that's not Premier League, but he's looking incredible.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, though, a lot of the really good Bundesliga players haven't come to the Prem, unfortunately. I wish we got to see Lewandowski in the Premier
in the
League.
Prem.
Because he
for
smashed
next
it at
Can't
Barca.
believe he nearly went to Blackburn.
Yeah, that is pretty mad, isn't it? That's such a weird signing. But no, he's consistently been one of the best strikers in the world for like 5 or 6 seasons, probably even more than that now. So I wish he was in the Premier League for a little bit. I mean, he could even still come for a season or two.
No, he's too old now.
Yeah,
He's only
finished
like 33 though. If he got picked up by someone for like, like Chelsea for a season.
But the thing is, I just don't see it.
Chelsea do dumb stuff like that though, re-signing Eto'o and signing Higuain and shit like that.
Yeah, but I don't mind the look at that Jackson, to be fair. They've got him, and I don't know. I can't see him coming to the Prem now.
No, I'd be surprised if he did, but I'd like to see it for a little bit still. I've got a big question for everyone. It's around England. It's not actually around the Premier League this time. We spoke about England a few times, but obviously the last international break, I think a lot of people were turned off by Gareth Southgate, not only by his comments towards Foden, where he was saying that, he plays in X position for Manchester City. Why would I try him in these positions? It's clear that he effectively said it's clear that he's not good enough to play in that position. And then he also brought on Harry Maguire, who went on to score an own goal.
When off his rocker.
There is no way that he should have even been in the squad anyway. And as much as it pains me to say, neither should Calvin Phillips. He's played.
Yeah,
He started just as many games for Manchester City as he has for England in the last 2 seasons.
I don't see how he can come out and have a go at people having a go at Harry Maguire when he's the one that is putting him in the firing line. It's just so daft to say that people aren't allowed to criticise him when you're the one putting him in there.
I don't think he was saying that. I think he was saying the level of criticism. Like it
But he's creating that situation.
He is, but I mean, he fucking does. He's done my head in the fact. He's done my head in the fact that he didn't fucking leave. To be honest, so
Yeah.
I'm not 100%, but the amount of stick that Maguire is getting,
does get a
is
lot.
fucking brutal. And that own goal that he scored, there wasn't a lot he could do with that. He was defending.
It was our position, I think.
He obviously got
going
no,
to get that criticism when
he obviously
he's
got no
playing.
shout from behind him that there was nobody there. So he was doing what he should do as a defender and trying to stop the cross coming in. And unfortunately, he put it in.
It's just the timing of it more than anything, isn't it? And I completely agree with you. Given his club form, which is barely playing, and when he is, it's not been going well. Getting picked for the England squad isn't going to help the position he's in. It's going to make things worse.
If you think somebody's mental health is suffering because they're getting bullied online or bullied by journalists or whoever they're getting bullied by, you don't then put them in a position to get even worse bullied, do you?
No, and I
But then
think
at the same time, he does have a job to do as a manager to pick a squad. And if John Stones is injured and he's missing players, he has to put a squad together.
He does.
So he has to pick him. So you can't just be like, oh well,
But does he?
Then why would he pick Maguire over Ben White? I just don't understand.
That's true.
Is daft?
Yeah, he doesn't have to pick him.
He's very inconsistent as well. with what he
you
does.
said Ben White was the
there's
best.
something going on with Ben White in England because he just left.
He did,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
He
World
up
Cup.
and went.
So I think there's something going on with Ben White. I think he's fallen out with the manager, and the manager said
I think it was one of the training staff.
there's something going on with. I would have taken Ben White over Maguire, but there's obviously something going on with Ben White with
Where he doesn't
England,
wanna play for
where
England.
either he doesn't want to play or they don't want to pick him. Something's happened.
Yeah,
so
Southgate has like his favourites as well, don't he? So
Do you not think even-
like Grealish? He doesn't really like Grealish either. Rarely picks him, and he should.
Do you not think even away from just like Ben White though, you should be picking players who are at least playing? Like it's
who then? So he had to put a squad together, right? Stones is out, Mings is out. Who are your 4 English centre backs?
Get Smalling in there.
I was going to say Smalling still plays every game. I know you always have this like, oh, it's the Italian league.
That's handball.
Is Tomori in the squad?
Shite, he's fucking pantsing.
No, but I
he's
would
better than
rather,
Maguire, though.
I would rather take someone.
on,
Maguire
man.
hasn't been playing for United consistently for a year and a half, and when he has, he's been shocking. So how are you going to justify taking him?
Because he's consistent for England. He
Historically,
knows
he
him.
has been. But
He knows him. like he says, he's Southgate's favourite. And this is what annoys me a little bit because people are like, oh, why has he got his favourite? Every manager has the favourites.
There has to be a drop-off point, though, when you're not playing where you have to say this
like
guy
I said,
can't.
I think if John Stones was fit and Tyrone Mings were
he would
fit,
have been
he
playing.
probably wouldn't have picked him. But and it's the same with Phillips. I'm sure that there's a couple of injuries for English midfielders at the moment where he kind of said, well, I know Phillips. Phillips knows my system. Let me just pick him for these couple of games because I need to pick a squad. But I don't think. But even then, I think Phillips goes to the Euros next year.
Yeah, I think he probably does. But my thing with Phillips is I can't think of, to be honest, obviously Rice is going to start, right? What other defensive
That's why I
midfielders
mean,
do we have as
that's
cover?
why he'll go.
Yeah.
No, but at least
It
at
is.
centre-back there is other ones. But what other defensive midfielders, English, are actually playing regularly for any team?
I can't think of one.
I
personally.
literally can't think of one.
You'd
There's only
have
attacking.
to convert somebody.
Yeah,
wouldn't
you'd
you?
have to put like Ward-Prowse or something as a
Yeah.
defensive mid.
He's not a defensive mid.
No, but that's
He's
what I
having
mean.
a fucking unreal season, him.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Well, yeah, I expected him to be honest.
By this game today, he scored or assisted a goal in every single of his West Ham games so far this season. Since joining. That's nuts.
That is absolutely mental. And I think back to the overall question around Southgate, it's more like, do you think he's good enough to manage England? And with this current cohort of players that we've got, and you're obviously seeing how well Bellingham's doing at Real Madrid now, you've Foden's a massive talent, Saka's a massive talent, still got Harry Kane scoring the goals. Do you think that Southgate is the one to lead England to a trophy?
Just don't know who's available that would
I'm saying why not? I've
take
never
the
seen
job and
like in my life. I've never
have
seen
the
England
time to
play.
settle in.
I've never seen England play as well as they have under Southgate, under any other manager. Like European
think
final,
it's true.
Euros
It's
final.
true.
Yeah, but we
World Cup
have, like-
semi-final.
We've
We've had golden generations in the 90s, under 2000s, but we never reached this level.
I think the problem is
Like-
if you get rid of you can only get rid of Southgate for one of the top managers, a Pep, a Klopp, somebody like that. And I know there's been talk that Pep's in the list and this that. I don't think
It's not
Pep's
going to
gonna
happen.
take
He's
the
not going to
England
do
job.
that, is he?
I'd absolutely love it if he did.
Oh, we'd win everything if we did.
Arsene
Yeah.
Wenger's available.
But to be honest
I
with
mean,
you,
I'd
I
definitely
I'd be
think
happy with that, mate.
Arsene Wenger's available.
That would be a big shout, actually. There'd be no reason not to give him the job.
Oh.
Arsene Wenger. If he would be willing to take the England job.
He'd be sick.
It'd be somebody who'd take a step back, sort of, a job where you don't have to be
my only
doing
concern
something all
is
the
He's
time.
been out of management for a long time.
Yeah, he's still involved in football.
Yeah, he
though.
still does.
Yeah, but so's Ferguson. Like Alex Ferguson's still involved in United.
You'd have him though, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, but he's better than football. He's the GOAT, that's why.
Yeah, but they're both up there.
Oh,
That's so
a poor
stupid.
challenge
It's going to
from
be red.
Nketiah. Nah, it should be a yellow, I think. Really last minute tackle
Okay,
from
well.
Eddie there on the keeper.
Get Eddie off, man. I don't know why he's on the pitch, to be honest.
Who else are you going to put on?
You've already brought on Jorginho and Havertz.
Just get Nelson on the left wing and put Jesus up front, I guess.
No, I thought that might have been a red at first, to
We're
be
gonna
honest.
struggle.
Yeah,
We're going to struggle Friday.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Let's see if studs are up.
Ooh,
Red card, that, innit? That's a red card.
He's not touched him though.
He's not touched him with his studs, innit?
No, but
Studs.
he's
He's
just
still
missed him and
flown in.
nearly snapped his ankle.
He's a lucky boy.
Nah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
silly. If he studded him, I think it would have been a red.
That-
He
that-
didn't stud him, did he?
He's lucky.
Yeah, but it was a studs up tackle.
He's lucky
where
that he missed
It was close. It was close. It was a dangerous tackle.
him. Careful.
That's on first reaction. I thought it was a red. I was like, yo, flying in.
We're going to struggle now Fridays, I reckon.
Yeah, Arsenal have dropped off a little bit this half. Not playing anywhere near as well. But yeah, back to the Southgate thing for a second. If we could get one of those top managers in, obviously I think that'd be amazing.
Potter's probably your shout.
No.
No,
I think he is.
No.
I don't want Potter at all.
I don't
Yeah,
want
same.
him, but he realistically is going to be the one that. they'll
Well, I
look
know
at,
they like to
think.
have English managers in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
But the mad thing is, and I didn't notice this fact till I started looking into this, the England manager with the highest win percentage in history is Fabio Capello.
No way.
Yeah, and I thought he did a crap job.
Yeah, same.
But he won the most games. Or out of the ones he played, he had the highest win percentage, which massively surprised me. I don't know. I think with the players we've got, Tottenham in the box, Son hits the side netting.
Wide. Get off.
Goal kick, man. Fuck off.
He's crying for a corner, but I don't think it gets given.
Son's crying.
Surprise.
Not again. But I think with the batch of players we have now and the talent in the team,
We need to win something.
Southgate's tactics aren't going to
We
bring
could
the
do with
best out of
somebody
them.
to really capitalise on that.
Yeah,
we need to win.
assets that
We need to
we've
win
got, yeah.
something, man.
And especially
No,
like we
never
can
mind.
say, oh, they might not have time to bed in and do well in the next whatever, but When are you going to do it then?
We lost start him,
That's a
didn't he?
painful one, that.
Yeah.
Looks like Maddison might have picked up an injury there.
That's a stinger, that.
Said that one quietly. Yeah, to be honest, I hope he stays fit.
Who aside from Potter is readily available,
Realistically.
realistically available?
But that's why I don't think we should get rid of Southgate.
He's just not daring enough, though, is he?
He's just boring.
He is, but boring.
I thought
Like
he
you
was-
said, he's got us to a World Cup semi.
Yeah, but he's-
And Euros final.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah, but you see them.
We should be
mentality that he
getting
has
there.
now, He's not the same as then, I don't think.
And with the squad we have, I think we should be getting to those positions. If you look at the Euros final, we fucking bottled it. Like, we absolutely bottled it. We should have won that.
Yeah, we should have 100%.
Where's the final's a final, though, isn't it?
I know, but the thing is, with tactics and with the manager that's in place, if you're winning in a game, you should be able to, with the defensive players that England have, you shouldn't then go and end up drawing and losing on penalties.
I think the problem with that game is that ultimately Italy had more winners and they had more winner mentality than we did. You know, they had Pellegrini as a manager who's won leagues at City. They had Bonucci and Chiellini who are proven
Legends,
winners.
yeah.
You know, they had a much older squad. So I think ultimately that's what it came down to. And I think Southgate panicked early by putting Henderson on, and when he should have actually just gone for the throat and said, right, fuck it, let's go and get him now.
Yeah.
But
And even
that's what I mean is like, the grass isn't always greener. So yes, I agree, Southgate probably isn't 100% the best man for that.
yeah.
Potter's the best available. Who else is there? Well, if he's better than Potter, why are you just going to settle for somebody worse just because we need something new?
Sometimes something new is good, though, isn't it?
I've seen Potter.
I
at
think he's done
Chelsea
well.
and the
Like,
kid
even in
was
the World
fucking
Cup,
garbage.
I think we should have beaten France. If Kane just missed a pen, man. I think otherwise we would have beaten.
That's it.
I mean, it's not like we did shit. I mean,
But do you know when you look at Italy and you say they've got them leaders and they've got that bit of extra level to the team, I look at England and I think, well, we have similar players. Obviously, the team's a little bit younger,
now.
but I think that the difference was when it came down to it in that Euros final, Italy's tactics turned a little bit dirty, tried to anger the England players. Do you remember, was it Chiellini or Bonucci who threw Saka on the floor?
Yeah,
And they were
Chiellini.
taking-
Chiellini,
they
yeah.
had that dirty side to them, and we play this really nice style of like
But
never
that-
try anything like that.
But
And
that's what I mean is like, Chiellini's been in cup finals before. He's been in situations where
there then.
he needs to
shaky, man.
take one for the team. And I mean, the thing is, we should have won that, but we also had, three youngsters that missed. I mean, Saka was like, what, 18, 19 at the
Yeah,
time.
Sancho
was like
20,
19, 20 at the time. Rashford's fair enough, a bit older, but he was probably only like 23, 24 at the time that missed penalties. I mean, they missed, what was it? Pickford made 3 penalty saves.
Aston Villa are beating Chelsea 1-0 right now, by the way.
Watkins, my fantasy
Ali
team.
Watkins.
Happy there.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I
I'm
do
going
know what
back
you-
to
Like-
biggest
like,
tub in London there.
Pickford saved 3 penalties in that penalty shootout. It's
I
just
know, he
unfortunate.
just was unlucky, man.
Yeah.
It's just tactically it wasn't great, but we have also been unfortunate the last few. Like penalties have just killed us, which is England anyway.
No, the thing is, but I've seen England win penalty shootouts now as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure we won against
But do you not
Colombia,
think
right?
if you're the manager,
Never
and
seen
you-
that before.
if you're the manager and you're in a Euros final, would you not then have nominated other players other than the 18, 19-year-olds that have never
but
taken a penalty?
in the penalty
their life?
shootout, is who nominates themselves, isn't it? If
Yeah. The thing is, right, you've got to also, as a manager, you've got to back those players. So if those 3 players have come to you and gone, Gaffer, listen, if it comes to it, I'll take a penalty. Let me take one. You can't then turn around and say, nah, son, not you. Because then you're just going to completely kill the confidence of that, especially as a young kid. I mean, Saka at 18, 19, if he goes to Southgate, he's, look, mate, look, Gaffer, I'll take one if it comes to it. And he says no. What's that going to do to his
Yeah,
confidence?
that is true. That is true.
I mean, he missed, so it killed his confidence anyway. But I think why put him in a situation where he's just got no option?
yeah.
it's a penalty shootout again, anyway, man. It's like with the gods at that point.
What do you think, though? Do you think we should stick with Southgate?
Yeah, I still stick with him to at least the Euros,
Right. But maybe then after that, if it
and then
doesn't
you
go-
can decide
But
after, depending on
we're
how
better
we
now
done
than
the
we
Euros.
were
Ever been? I
at the
think.
Euros, and we're better now than we were at the World Cup as well. I mean, I think the only thing that he needs to do is he needs to just swallow his pride and play.
That's all right.
Great chance here for Tottenham. Put it. Oh,
Well done, Gabriel, man.
Tottenham corner there.
Just play a team.
Sticking out in it, bro.
I think the fans have picked the best team. Personally, I think he just needs to put his pride aside a little bit and say, right, okay,
These are the players.
this is who should be playing.
Foden.com.
Yeah,
Foden.com.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
I think we should have a midfield 3 of Rice, Bellingham, and Foden.
Would you not consider now, though, Surely Bellingham has to be in that attacking mid role, given what he's been doing so far at Madrid. Playing
Do you
that.
think so?
So yes,
Like,
but
would you pick Foden over him right now as an attacking midfielder?
Yes, just
I
because we
would.
don't have anyone in that Bellingham position as left centre mid or whatever.
I
Who are you going
would.
to play there?
I would, because it allows us to get Bellingham and Foden in the team.
Yeah, man. That's sick.
If you put Bellingham in that, so say you put Bellingham at that 10 position, where'd you put Foden then? Well, you're not putting him on the right because Saka's pretty much guaranteed to start.
Yeah.
Left wing, you'd probably lean for Rashford at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then
only
where'd you where'd you get Foden in the team?
Maybe you don't.
Well,
He needs to be in the team, I think.
Yeah.
Especially this season, he's
but
looking
then
good, man.
you say, right, who's playing that other centre mid position? Is it Phillips? Is it Mason Mount? Well, but that's what I mean. Is Foden better than those guys?
Yeah,
well,
of
he
course,
is.
yeah.
So then you say, right, Bellingham, you're dropping into that midfield position, and then you can get Foden in the team.
Arsenal must have had about 6 corners this game and done pretty badly with every single one of them.
That was a Tottenham call.
Oh, was it Tottenham?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, that don't.
Flip it.
Yeah. That's a good one. Shit. But no, I don't know. I just think my problem with Southgate is he doesn't change his tactics ever, practically. You know exactly what's going to happen every time he plays. And I think with him in charge, we're not going to take advantage of the squad that we've got in any way, shape or form.
I agree, and I think looking long term as well, you have to start bringing in younger players as well. And he's
But I think he will.
do you think?
I think
after the Euros though.
I think this Euros he will. I think Maguire's going to struggle this Euros. I think give him a full.
He's got to be done now.
I
He
think
ain't
give
gonna
him a
be
full
picked.
season. I think Levi Colwill will get that book in, and you put him in there with John Stones.
Yeah.
So that's your starting centre back partnership. I think at the moment, right back, if he picked Kyle Walker, you're not going to argue with it. It's still Kyle
no,
Walker.
yeah, he's-
but at the same time, if he's fit and available,
Reece
maybe
James.
Reece James
Yeah, Reece
or
James.
Trent, that right back position, you can't really
Arsenal, awful cross from, I don't know who it was. I think it was Ben White.
whoever he picks at right back, you're not really going to argue it. And
Yeah.
whatever option we've got, he's pretty.
Yeah, if
fucking
Reece
solid.
James is fit, you'd probably edge him.
You
If
pick
not,
him.
Walker's fine.
Oh well, I'd probably pick Walker, to be honest, just because
I'd
he's
pick Walker.
proven. He's proven at England, and he's still
good.
proven at.
He's
City.
quality as
good.
well. He's still fucking sick.
Yeah,
He's
not
still got
lost
his pace, innit?
yeah.
That's the maddest
Still has
thing.
pace, yeah.
He's like 34 now, isn't he? Or something?
You know, Walker's been doing it for so long now. I remember him even at Tottenham when he was incredible for a couple of seasons. Is he offside there? But Eddie Nketiah's got the ball in the box.
Terrible touch, man.
This time it is an Arsenal corner.
Let's see how we do, man.
We're looking a bit
So
better.
yeah, I think this Euros we'll see pretty much the same side, but it will be slightly different. I mean, the thing is, keeper wise, it's going to be Pickford. I don't think Pope's all of that. Ramsdale's just been dropped for Arsenal.
Well,
so-
yeah.
And I've never really thought Ramsdale was all that either. And I think even though Pickford's he's shaky in the Prem, he's proven for England enough.
He's definitely
Yeah,
the
he's
best.
a
He's
different
definitely the
keeper
best
for
England.
England.
He's
He's
definitely
next
the
level
best
for
keeper for
England.
England.
So that's your keeper. I think your centre backs change with Colwill. Right back, you're not going to argue it. Left back, I'd probably lean Shaw, but Chilwell, I'm not going to fall out with it. I don't mind Chilwell.
There's good competition there as well. Defense.
Reece Nelson just came on for Gabriel Jesus, by the way.
90-minute goal for Nelson again.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
alright
you've
with
got
that.
you got Richarlison, and is that who was that with? Who else was with him?
Not Hoyland,
Højbjerg.
Højbjerg,
Yeah.
yeah.
Coming on. Son coming off for Tottenham, which is a big surprise.
Must be knackered.
All right, if Richarlison scores here, put a bet on him getting a yellow card.
Scoring and
Scores.
Yeah, he's taking his top off.
Yeah. He gets disallowed.
100%. Romero, the man with 2 fuck-ups today, getting the captain's armband.
He's better than Gabriel, though, apparently.
he is.
He's not, mate.
He is.
He's not.
I think Gabriel is so overrated.
No, I
I'm not having that,
would
man.
disagree. I've seen him play week in, week out, and I think he's
He's
good.
quality, man. He's
I've
good.
also seen him get dropped.
When?
Start of the season. Kid was on the
Right.
bench.
So that was because there was talk of him going to Saudi.
So he still got dropped.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of form or because of ability. It was because his head returned.
That's not a positive in itself, though. That's a little bit of a worry.
Yeah, but that's not ability or performance-wise, is it?
No, it was
that's,
more-
That's mentality.
How much are you going to pay me?
Exactly, yeah.
It was
And
more like, oh, shit.
Arteta said it was because we got bigger games coming up, but it wasn't. That was bullshit.
Yeah, it was because of the Saudi interest.
Yeah, it's Saudi interest.
If that's in the air, you don't want to have that in your team, right? Do you?
Yeah,
Just
but
wanna
you drop
kind
the
of-
player that's head's turned, and then they
Brighton 3-1.
so
Oh,
they go,
Mitoma.
actually, you know what? Maybe
Oh, they come back then, yeah, Brighton.
maybe I
Not
do
bad.
like it.
Yeah,
at
it was 1-1
Arsenal.
at half time.
Yeah.
Brighton, man. I have such a soft spot for Brighton. I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
He's
hate
deserving, man.
him?
He's fucking sick.
Why do you hate him?
They fucking beat us.
Anyone that's against United, he hates, bro. Every time, man.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this guy said Rooney's the best striker in Premier League history.
It is, bro.
Because he can
That's
play.
actually so joke.
Because he can play in the deeper role.
Do you know what? Actually, we had one more debate for today. I nearly forgot about this one. So I wanted to start a new thing where it's like a player showdown. So 2 players in their prime couple of seasons, right? Who would you want in your team right now? And this week we're going to go for Robin van Persie in his prime against Harry Kane
When
in
you're
his
saying,
prime.
what are you saying against Harry Kane
Yeah.
in his prime? When are you saying the prime is?
Well, I mean that you can kind of make that decision. I'm saying
I'd
a
pick
2 or 3 season period when they were at their best. Which do you think is the better player?
It disgusts me to
I'm
say, but
taking Hurricane.
I think
Wait. Why
Robin
are you
Van-
taking Harry Kane?
He's just a better. He scores goals consistently, but he also has that ability to get others involved and pick up assists as well. I think I'm taking Harry Kane
over Van Persie winning you the league,
Yeah,
because that was an incredible season.
yeah, it was an incredible season.
And after some
I,
brief-
and I
I think-
had to cope with losing him and
But I
watching him
think
go to
as
Man
much
United.
as much as I loved what he did for us, I think if you'd have put Harry Kane in that team, we probably would have won the league as well.
Yeah, but he did it though. He was a proper mercenary for.
Oh yeah, he
Fucking
was.
prick, man.
Yeah, proper mercenary move that.
It was, but
I cried.
I'd pick Kane.
you'd pick Kane.
I'd pick Kane.
I mean, as an
All
Arsenal
round.
fan, this is like 2 players you probably hate as well. It's either a
don't
Tottenham
hate
legend.
Kane,
I don't really
mate.
hate Kane, you know. I like Kane, to be
yeah.
fair.
That's a weird
He's a
shout.
quality player, man. Like, he was in all of our top 5 all-time
Yeah, he was
strikers,
in
right?
all
So
of
how
ours.
could you not pick
Van
Kane?
Persie wasn't, so yeah, Kane. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
Kane.
that,
He's
but
got the
that-
whole run.
That season
Whole
for
run
Man
game.
United, and there was a season as well for Arsenal in like, was it 12, where he got like, I think it was 30 goals and.
With Van
like,
Persie.
Well, this is what I
12
mean.
Was it the year before he left?
Yeah,
He had
the
a really good
the
season.
one that got
And he
him
was
the move.
injury prone for like so many years as well.
Yeah.
And I think you do have to take into account, obviously, I know Harry Kane's got a similar, if not better, goal scoring record, like if you go throughout his whole career.
Yeah.
But in those prime couple of Van Persie seasons, it's very similar.
he scored better goals.
He scored better goals. He also he had scored some important goals internationally as well, as has Kane overall, but not quite as many.
He scored
And I
a lot
think-
of Champions League goals.
Keep in mind, Van Persie actually won the FA Cup at Arsenal and the Premier League at Manchester United.
Yeah, and Kane
And
won
he won the
out.
he won the Europa League in his Dutch days as well. Harry Kane, as much as he has a fantastic goal scoring record, it led to nothing. So
But that's you can't blame him. That's fucking Tottenham being
Well,
shit.
no, I
innit?
know, but-
I mean, Tottenham's a
Yeah,
fucking shocking team, man.
it's correct. But when Van Persie joined
scored
Manchester
hat-trick, isn't
United, they were coming to the
But
end of their.
that's Fergie and United, man. It's
Yeah.
not fucking Tottenham.
I
man.
know, but-
it was Fergie made that decision, man. And he
That United team at the time, he came into an awful team really, and he dragged them to a league title. The Spurs team at certain points has been better in the last 5-6 years than that United team was at the time.
But he just
Yeah,
the Spurs
but
on it.
that-
United got the winning mentality, man. Then you just know they're gonna win.
And whatever Spurs team he's played for has not been managed by Sir Alex Ferguson either.
I'm sure Fergie grabbed like Rio Ferdinand and was like, if you don't fucking pass to Van Persie, all of you, if you don't fucking pass to him,
Yeah, he said,
you're getting
he said get the ball and just pass it to
fucking
him.
pass it to one person and we're winning the league.
But this is what I mean. So how can you see a player like that and then say Harry Kane just because he might have scored probably 10 more
Ability
goals?
wise, I think all round striker. He can head the ball. He can shoot
He
both.
brings
He finishes
more
both feet. I think
Who?
Van Persie was just solely left footed. He
Yeah,
wasn't that
but
good in the air. He was injury
He didn't
prone.
need another foot, didn't Van Persie there?
That's true. That's true. But Kane's both footed, man. He's quality.
And I think Van Persie scored maybe like 3 or 4 of the best goals I've ever seen in my life, where the ball just comes over from like the halfway. Like
Oh, that one he scored
volleys
against
it.
Villa.
Yeah,
but
what,
Son-
for
Son
for
passed it.
United?
Yeah.
And he did that
Oh, yeah.
twice
What a-
for us.
what a
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
from Rooney,
Son-
by the way.
Against Everton.
What were the goal in like
The one against
2007?
Everton. The one in for
World Cup.
One for Netherlands.
Against Spain.
Oof, like
I don't know
that.
if you remember that
It's a
goal. It was
diving header
it was
like
in
that.
2007 against Charlton, and he like did a volley and he jumped over the guy almost over his shoulder and he just fucking volleyed it from outside the box.
It was unbelievable.
Quality, man.
So is everyone going for Kane?
I'm still going for Kane though, just because of how good he is, man. And
Because Kane will get double-digit assists every season as well.
I think
Like he gets that aspect of his game as well.
I'll
I need
go.
it for years,
I'll
but-
just go with Van Persie just to be contrary and just because he were a nicer footballer to watch. I think.
I just think he had a bigger. He
Well,
had a
he
bigger
won the
overall
league.
impact. Yeah,
On a-
because he
yeah,
actually
yeah.
dragged a team to winning the league. So I've got to go for Van Persie. I love Kane, and I actually know what you mean in terms of maybe pure footballing ability. Kane might be
As
a
a
little
centre
bit more.
forward,
But I
yeah.
think if you pick those couple of prime seasons, Van Persie Van Persie had such an impact on the clubs he was at that you've kind of got to go with him.
I don't know, man. Kane scored like consistently over 20 goals in the Premier League.
I know,
like
but so did Van Persie,
did Van
in those
Persie, yeah.
seasons.
But not as many as...
Would you say that
not as
that,
consistent
that
as
season at
Kane.
United was... I don't know if that was Van Persie's prime.
Well,
That
I'm
was
saying, and
the
the
last
season
year
before.
The season before.
The season before was his prime.
Yeah, because he scored.
Come on.
Oh,
The season before was it 30 goals, 11 assists, something like that. Something daft.
Yeah. And I got a little. One sec, let me get the stat up that I got.
He was too injury prone. I think if Van Persie wasn't as injury prone as he was, he would have
That's
been a
why
much better
Kane led the
striker.
league in goals and assists one season.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
And the thing,
As a striker, that is fucking mental. For Spurs as well.
Yeah.
That he's not doing that.
I think Kane was
He's not
next
doing that
level.
at City, where he's got unreal teams, players behind him.
in his time at Tottenham, overall, so this includes all competitions, Harry Kane had 317 appearances and scored 213 goals, whereas Van Persie, in his time at both clubs, had what's that? About 200 and he had 280 appearances, so he had 40 less games, and scored 144 goals. So it's obviously Kane has a better overall goal scoring record, but though because Van Persie wasn't unbelievable from the get go, was he?
He was injury prone, so he didn't get to play a full season. Like 4 or 5 seasons in a row, he played like half a season. Man,
But he
so.
won the league with Man U.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me. I just think if you drag a team to win in the league, that's such a massive
And
achievement.
it was all. it was
but
on
at the
him.
but
It
at the
was
sa-
on him.
It was. But at the same time, if
was
Daniel
Fergie,
Levy wasn't
yeah.
such a cunt, Kane would have gone to City and he would have won a league as well. So the
He
season,
didn't though.
Yeah, but that's not because of him. That's because
Yeah, but
of
you could
Daniel
you
Levy.
could say what he didn't. He signed another Tottenham contract. He didn't have to do that.
Van Persie, the reason Alex Ferguson didn't retire as well, like he stayed on another season.
Yeah,
because
he stayed on
wanted-
another season
because he
for that,
wanted
yeah.
to work with Van Persie.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
says a lot. That.
Yeah, I'm going Van Persie.
First.
Even though he wasn't in your top 5 strikers and Harry Kane was.
Harry Kane wasn't in my top 5.
Oh, fair.
Was he not?
He wasn't. He wasn't. No, he was right. He wasn't. He was in my top 5.
You thought you had me then, innit? You were like, hold up.
Hang on a minute.
It was in my.
Yeah,
it wasn't
'cause
in
it was
mine,
in
but I changed
ours,
my.
so-
But I'll change my mind.
Arsenal on the edge of the box. Oh.
He's such a good footballer.
Poor shot from Havertz. Boys, we've got 4 minutes left of the game. Do you think we're going to see a winner from either team here, or?
Probably got 15 minutes left.
Yeah, true. There'll be a fair bit
Yeah,
of
because the
added time.
Madison injury, innit? Yeah.
That's shocking.
Havertz nearly kills someone in the crowd with his shot there.
Hit it out.
Yeah, the guy
Took
was-
someone's head off. Yeah,
I reckon it'll be a draw.
2-2
I
looked
reckon
good,
it'll be a
didn't
draw.
it?
yeah. I think it'll be a draw at this point. Did you say 2-2?
I did so.
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe I can clip you together this week and it won't be an insult.
Yeah, fucking hell, you little cunt. Fucking shafted last few weeks.
Yeah, we need another United game on the road.
Yeah, I'm not coming.
I don't even know what's the next stream we're actually meant to be doing. I'm not even entirely sure. I'll big
Get
it up
to
on the
it.
stream.
Oh, there, mate. Saliba, man.
Oh, don't worry, Josh.
Never doubt
It's-
that.
Next one's meant to be Spurs against Liverpool, so
That's decent, that.
not as upsetting. And then Arsenal City. So you Arsenal boys need to be back in a couple of
will.
weeks.
That's a dangerous one, that. Who's home?
I don't know, to be honest.
Don't know.
Come on, mate. Come do that. Come do that one. This one's not gone too badly.
Yeah.
Should've
Ask
won
me,
this
ask me
one.
closer
Ask
to
about
time.
who up 5 minutes
Ask
now.
me closer to time.
Yeah, it's not for a couple of weeks yet. Arsenal on the counter attack here.
Oh, it was a good pass, that. That was a good pass, though. It's Eddie can't do shit,
yeah,
man.
Eddie's got it on
What's
the
he
edge of
gonna
the
do?
box, but he fills me with no hope. Plays it off to Saka. Looks like Arsenal are a bit lost for ideas here on the
Yeah,
attack.
yeah.
Look comfortable with the
Give it to
jaw.
him.
Yeah. Zinchenko's on the
That's
ball. Fantastic ball to Reece Nelson, who's got it in the box. Another corner for Arsenal.
He's alright in that.
Porro.
job,
Yeah, I
though.
like him. Yeah, Pedro Porro is a good player.
Reece Nelson about to put a corner in here for Arsenal. They've got a lot of tall players on the pitch. We Havertz, Gabriel, Saliba, Jorginho's not exactly little.
Nah, he's quite short, isn't he?
Is
Yeah,
he?
he is.
Oh, I thought he was like 6 foot.
No, no.
Missed everyone.
Arsenal.
Eddie's like around 6 foot, I think.
All right.
Get to it. Get to it.
Can Tottenham do a counter attack here? Nah, Paul turns it around. We're into the 88th minute.
Yeah, man, it's close now.
What are your thoughts on the game so far, boys?
It's been pretty even. I think.
Yeah.
I think Tottenham have controlled it. I think it's been pretty even. I think Tottenham have controlled it towards the end of the game,
Yeah.
which has been quite disappointing to say we're at home.
I think we just switched off after scoring both goals.
I think after losing Rice, we
Yeah.
just lacked a bit of
Oh, he's done
concentration.
well there.
I also think after getting that goal that put you up and then conceding a minute later must have a massive effect on the confidence of the players and
What's
how
going
things
on
are
here?
going.
Oh, he's not happy, is he?
Saka looks like he's in a lot of pain here, but
Yeah,
I'm not
it's not
entirely
looking good,
sure
man.
what actually happened to him.
Just looks like a stinger, I think.
He got caught. He got caught, but I don't think it's anything serious. It
Oh,
didn't look
yeah.
like
I
it
think he
was-
landed on his leg or something.
Big baby.
Yeah, I'm not sure what really
Yeah,
hurt
I
him
don't know
there.
what's happened there.
It's
Not
his
a clue.
ankle. He's landed on his ankle, but it doesn't look that bad. What is he crying
Getting up. He's ready.
Yeah, I think both teams have really struggled to have a period of dominance in this game. There's been the odd
It's been a
5 minutes
cagey
where
game, all game, man.
people have been on top, but no one's really flown away with it.
Well, it's probably about right for where both teams are at this point in the season, I guess, is a draw.
I think Spurs are here for the season. I wrote them off early doors, but they
I
actually
predicted
looked
them to
decent.
come
They,
like
they
ninth.
could eventually struggle
Well,
without
after
Kane's goals.
the manager and like the way they're playing, especially with Kane going, I thought Son was gonna crumble under the pressure of being captain, but he's fully taken it with his stride, man.
Yeah, 'cause Son had a very poor season last year as
Yeah.
well, which was
He
part of the
started.
reason.
He started slow as well, but last couple of games he got that hat trick, didn't he, the other week, and then he's got 2 today. So
Ben White with the cross into the box. Reece Nelson.
10 minutes added on.
Damn.
Jesus.
10 minutes added
10 minutes?
time.
Crazy.
Maybe they have.
Busting
You
for
see
a
what I
week.
mean about these rules?
Yeah, we're busting for a week.
Yeah, there was actually a long
And then you had the
VAR.
Madison injury as well.
Maybe someone can get a winner then. 10 minutes added time.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think.
And
we
with
might
that
see
track
one.
record, it could be us, man.
Yeah,
Scoring
Arsenal,
loads of last minute goals this like last season, this season.
Arsenal good with those last minute ones. What's Kane been doing in the Bundesliga so
He's got
far?
an
He's got a hat trick and 2 assists yesterday. man.
Fucking flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely killing it.
I mean, you would expect him to,
Oh,
wouldn't you?
that's
But
silly. What have you done that for, you
Was
donkey?
that Van der Berg?
Van der Ven, yeah.
Yeah, Van der Berg,
Arsenal
sorry.
with the 500th corner of the game.
Yeah. Kane, I think.
At least he got it right this time.
I think Kane's has he scored in every game he's played so far or something.
Something daft like that, man.
Bar the
The cup, the first
cup.
one.
You know, they're like community shield type thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think he scored.
Did he
it.
score against United?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far, Harry Kane's 5 games at Bayern Munich, 7 goals. Arsenal on the edge of the box. Gets the shot away.
Save again, bottom bins that.
Yeah.
Another fantastic save from the Tottenham.
He's had a good
keeper.
game.
He's had a
Compared to him,
blinder
He has a
of
good game, yeah. A really good game. Fair.
He has.
Surprised me that he looked
Yeah.
awful against Brentford first game of the season. I thought it was going to be a stinker, but
I could let it go wide. That.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know, would you?
Was it going wide?
Maybe just.
Maybe.
I think it
just
was.
stripping
I
the
think it was
post.
hitting a
Yeah.
post. That
Can't take that risk though, can you?
Guess what it is, Faz? It's another,
Another corner.
Arsenal corner.
Whip it in, boys. Come on.
One day they'll do something from one. Back post. What is it? Another one? Or
Another Arsenal.
It's another Arsenal
mate. Come on.
maybe they'll actually do something from
I'm
one of
surprised they
these.
haven't used the passing corner that they did last game and
Yeah.
they scored from it as well. But I don't know. Different team, I guess.
Nerves building up, Chris. You think we can get a last minute winner?
Yeah, I can't speak.
Come on, man.
You give you too concentrated now.
I can't speak.
Arsenal whip it in.
He's got to everyone, hasn't he, as well?
Keep
Yeah.
this
Keeper's
Tottenham
in well, man.
keeper's
Yeah.
been in top form today.
This kid as well, a doggy, man. He's been playing well as well.
he's been shaky at times. To be fair.
And ball.
Oh, another handball.
Oh,
Come on.
that's not.
I'd give that.
Not again. I mean, it could have been, but he wasn't even looking. So surely
it's
not.
just a weird one, yeah.
Yeah, it's not been given. Thank the Lord.
Offside.
He's so shit. Him.
Well,
Richarlison,
offside,
yeah.
that. What's he doing?
Do you think that Richarlison is potentially the worst striker signing in the last 5 years? Well, no, because he cost 55 million or something ridiculous. And what has he scored like 4 goals in
Yeah,
his whole Tottenham?
yeah.
That is particularly
Shit.
atrocious.
Yeah.
I can't think of a striker who's done as
Mudryk?
badly. He's a winger, though.
He's a winger. And considering
Well, yeah,
Richarlison's potential as well, like how it was meant to be.
Yeah, Leeds with Jean Kevin Augustin. No, that was a championship signing, though. It wasn't even a Premier League signing, yeah. Well, I mean, we did pay £700,000 a minute for 0 goals, but, you know.
Christ.
He played 34 minutes for us, cost us like 40 mil.
No way.
Ridiculous.
Was he just
Arsenal,
shit?
he just never played. We signed him because it was an agreement if we got promoted, we'd sign him on a permanent.
I saw that he sued you as well, didn't
Yeah, and then he sued us, so we had to pay Leipzig 25 mil, and then we had to pay his 4-year contract despite him not being with us anymore.
Havertz again, man, losing the ball. He does nothing, man. I don't know what he does. He just
Cost
floats
65
around.
million,
He
that's
just
what
floats around and just loses the ball. Fucking just don't understand it, man.
Do you know, part of me really hopes that he somehow comes good. I
No,
don't know
why
but-
would Smith Rowe's on the bench? Why the fuck has he not
That's
come
it,
on?
Smith
I don't
Rowe's on the
understand. Why is he not playing?
It just seems like a
ridiculous,
massive step
man.
backwards.
He needs to
And-
leave him, I think.
Yeah, I
Smith
feel
Rowe.
bad though because he's a sick player.
He needs to go and get some time.
You must feel so hard done by. If you're
I think
Smith
the only
Rowe.
reason he's still there is because he's an Arsenal boy.
Yeah.
But he's good
Well,
though.
he
He's
was-
not like
I'm
he's a
not
shit
saying
player.
I'm
you know
not saying he's a shit player.
He was injured as well. Like he did have a
but-
groin injury for like most of the last season.
Yeah, but if Havertz is doing as bad as he is, why isn't Smith Rowe being given a chance? I just
Because Arteta's stubborn, isn't he?
yeah.
He's stubborn. And to be fair, he gets a lot right. So
Yeah.
you have to let him have those little moments where you think,
You can have the odd mistake.
I'm
know, I feel like-
wrong on this. Maybe he'll come right at some point.
Especially with a game like this, North London derby, I'm sure Smith Rowe understands.
Smith Rowe had been
that
well
game.
up for it. I think he
Yeah,
scored
man.
in the last one he played.
He knows. I don't know.
Nope.
So,
Oh,
Rich Allison nearly got a shot off in
Gabriel's
the
well
box
there,
there.
to be fair.
Gabriel.
on, boys.
Got 5 minutes left in added time. Arsenal were on top, but Tottenham are having a little attacking phase here.
Oh, there's so much space.
It pretty much sums up the whole game. You know, this at the time, the way it's
Rich
coming out.
Allison with the ball gets a shot off,
Grab
but
it.
good catch from Raya.
Go on, Højbjerg, chill out.
I don't mind him, that Højbjerg.
Yeah, he's a good player. He gets the job done, innit? It's simple.
We were linked to him, to be fair.
Havertz with a good pass out to the wing for Reece Nelson.
That's a silly challenge.
Yeah, you kind of need to do that sometimes, don't it?
Woo! A couple minutes left. I just want to see a winner either way, to be honest. I mean, I would prefer Arsenal to win more because I think that they have a better chance of challenging Manchester City throughout the season, and I
want
want
to see Spurs score.
I want the Premier League to be more entertaining. Josh is here for a Tottenham win, huh?
Just praying.
Arsenal got it on the attack again. Get the ball to Odegaard. Yeah, not much going on here.
He's had a poor game, you know, Odegaard.
28 now is Odegaard.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Is he on? I guess he's on big bucks
Here we
now.
go. 4 minutes left. Brings on Smith Rowe.
I think he heard us.
Yeah, it's pretty pointless, isn't it?
Saka, is it?
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
almost, it's almost an insult to him.
Yeah, it is at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not even going to have a chance to get into the game at all.
I didn't realise how young he was, to be fair, Smith Rowe.
How young is he still?
We was at the under 21s, wasn't he?
They're all like 21, 22, aren't they?
He looks
I
a bit
think
like.
Saka's 22 now, maybe.
Don't you think Smith Rowe looks like that Will Poulter?
Yeah, a little bit.
The
It's his eyebrows, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's his
Yeah, it's like
eyebrows.
the same facial structure in some ways.
Yeah, I see that, you know, you mentioned it. I see the eyebrows.
I've not
It's
even
funny,
seen
that.
that.
It's funny you say that because I was watching Ray the Millers yesterday.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Fucking unbelievable film, that.
It's funny, that. Proper funny. First time I watched it as well, I was like,
That's a rogue shout. All right, we got 3 minutes left of the game into the 97th minute overall. Obviously, this added.
Smith Rowe, last minute goal.
Yeah, he's out here on wing on his own.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to end 2-2 now. I mean, obviously, there's only a couple minutes left, but
Should have put a bet on it. Fuck's sake.
yeah. Arsenal attacking on the edge of the box again. Gets it over to Smith Rowe, who's got it. No one's getting it in a good position. That's the problem for Arsenal. There's a lot of passing, but
Well, they're defending well, I suppose.
well, at least Smith Rowe managed to get a few touches. I fully agree with you, though, Josh. I think he needs to move on.
No, he
He's
needs
a-
more
No,
playing
he
time,
doesn't.
man.
He
He
needs
needs
more
to be given
playing
a chance.
time.
'Cause
Yeah,
he's
but
fucking
if
he's
sick,
not
man.
gonna get it.
He's not getting
Yeah, but he's been injured. He can't play if he's been injured.
Yeah, but he was on the bench and he's just put Havertz on instead of him.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to back
work
himself, you know what I mean?
back into the team, isn't he? And he will get more
He
opportunities.
didn't play much last season either, though, did he?
No, he didn't.
No, because he
The
was
season,
injured.
yeah, he was injured last season.
Wow. Yeah, not much going on for either team.
This
here,
is a better result for Tottenham, to be honest. 2-2 away.
Yeah,
North
it is.
London derby.
This
It's a much-
keeps
This is a
Tottenham
Tottenham
spirits
yeah.
alive. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought that was
Rip
it.
this in. Do you reckon? Rip this into the box
You are.
from here. It's free kick.
Yeah,
Rip
I
it in, or,
would. Yeah,
or
you're gonna
make
have
a
to.
Give me
break.
a minute and a half.
I guess
left.
you could put it like,
Everyone
pass
else.
it to the winger and then he could cross it in. That'd be probably the best shot, I think. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And
Smith
run to
Rowe
the
on the
byline.
attack for Arsenal on the left wing. No options there. Back to Zinchenko. Get it in the box.
That's a good
Arsenal
one.
whip across in.
That was a doggy, that.
Really good defending from Tottenham.
Yeah, all game, like, they've been really
Defending
disciplined.
as a unit, aren't they?
Yeah, very disciplined. Apart from the first, 20 minutes where they were losing the ball all the time. Since then, they've been on it.
Yeah. I mean, there was obviously that chance for Jesus that I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
look back on as the biggest miss of the game. A lot of players forward here for Arsenal with a minute left, but looking like
Pushing
it's
us
going to
back though, aren't they? Look, they're going to come
Tottenham
in
win the
there.
ball back. Could be a big,
What have you done there?
awful,
you
awful ball.
fucking
That could have been a big
donkey?
counter attack. Didn't know what that noise was. Then it shit me up.
He's looked decent in this season.
Tottenham on the counter. They've got the ball.
Is that
Right
Højbjerg?
wing.
Is that Højbjerg?
Kulusevski.
That's cool.
Tottenham play it back. Oh, close
Imagine
there.
Richarlison Scott with it. I'd fucking crazy.
30 seconds left and Richarlison drags a shot wide. Exactly what you'd expect from him. Oh, is it a corner?
So, yeah.
Yeah, it should be a
Jorginho blocked it, right?
Yeah.
Tottenham
It'll be the
corner.
last chance of the game now.
10 seconds
Last
left
chance
of the
of the
game.
game.
Oh, if they score, look at the nerves on these two. Look at the nerves on them.
Fuck's sake, bro.
Surely they're getting the keeper forward for this. You would, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
No, not in the league game.
Whips it in the box. Good clearance from Arsenal.
That's it, done.
Brings the game to full time.
About right, that I think.
I don't think we deserved more than a point in that game.
No, I don't think we did.
We switched off at the wrong time. Like, as soon as we scored, we switched off.
Yeah.
Not good, is it, man?
Nah, it's not what you need at all, but
Gabriel Jesus though, he should have scored that sitter.
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
yeah, that was
Like,
a
he scores that, the game's completely different.
These are just like shades of our last 10 games of the season where we're like getting in front and then conceding goals and drawing. Like, we draw those 3 games in a row. It just feels a bit like that, to be honest. Like, to go up
They
home
look good though.
twice
the
in a
Spurs.
game.
They looked all right. They defended
Nah, but,
really
like,
well.
if you're going to go in front twice and a home game, you need to keep the win, man.
You do, yeah. You
It's
do.
happened a few times. We did it against what's the other team that we drew this season? We went in front and then we conceded a goal. So we were 1-0 down, then we went 2-1 up, and then we went back to 2-all.
Yeah,
He's the only game that
remember
we
these
can do, man. Get
we've
it,
played
man.
this season.
yeah. I think from what I've seen of Arsenal so far this season, it seems like you're conceding silly goals, like unnecessarily.
We always do.
No, I know, but that's the difference between challenging for the league and not.
Fulham, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, that was a stupid goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we went 2-1 up at home and then to concede straight away after, just a similar. It's some sort of pattern that's occurring that needs to be addressed with Arteta, I think.
Yeah, it's a
And I think this is the midfield choices that he's been making, like putting Havertz on and putting Jorginho on.
He's going to have to stop doing that. He is going to have to stop doing
because
that.
is that
he
just a
needs
bit
to
of
give-
blind loyalty, try to give people
Yeah.
minutes?
You know, it's because he
It is.
spent a lot of money on Havertz and he's
They
backed
spend the
him. He
money,
needs
then
to.
they have to play the players, don't they?
Yeah.
He chose to buy that player.
I mean, they don't have to though. That's the thing.
No, but he did choose to buy that player, so he has to
He
try and justify
specifically chose
himself. 65 million, but it's 65
He needs
million
to
is a
justify
lot
it.
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
but
not
at the
play
same time,
someone.
you've got a duty as a manager to pick the best squad. And
No.
if he's not the
Of
best
course
player,
you do. Of course
then
you do. But managers aren't like that, are they? They're stubborn and
And the egos and stuff.
they
Yeah.
have egos and they want to be able to prove themselves right.
No, but fair play to
But
Tottenham.
yeah,
They did
but
a
he
really
shouldn't
good
be
job,
doing
man.
that.
Really good job today.
Yeah, I'd say if anything, this result is more of a win for Tottenham than it is for Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, I said at the start of the game, I feel like this could be the one. If Tottenham lose, it derails the season. Now it makes me think this, if anything, is just going to instill more confidence in them. The fact that they can come back from losing at the Emirates and pick up a point is fantastic and just keeps up their good start to the season.
Chelsea, though.
Have they lost?
Lost Villa.
Chelsea losing 1-0 to
They
Aston
lost.
Villa.
Game's
No,
over.
well, I'm all right
finished.
now. It's fine. Sheffield.
Chelsea lost. Liverpool 3-1 against West Ham in the end, and Brighton 3-1 against Bournemouth.
Fantasy is looking, man.
Liverpool look good.
How's yours doing?
Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool are going to do.
They were
well
my
this
they were my
season.
pick to. I picked them to finish second at the start of the season predictions.
Yeah, better than mine.
I was sure that they'd fall off at some point, but they just look like they're not.
Right, boys. Well, I say we call it there anyway. So thanks for watching. Anyone that's here, and peace.
Yeah,
Cool.
safe.
Yeah. Good one.
Just turn it off. Yeah. Now on the Mac as well. We're still streaming right now. Just unplug it and pass us it.
You got fantasy team.
No, I haven't done it this time because I always I do it for like 3 or 4 months.